If you've ever woke up in the morning and said, F it, I'm going back to bed, hit that like and subscribe button, folks. We're back with another episode of live trading, and we are going to do our best to extract money from the market. I, of course, have 13 in the background. I see a whole bunch of returning traders here ready to make some money. So you know what? We're going to get it. But first, I have to go find the asset to play because I wasn't prepared.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, we are back for another episode of live trading, and it is great to see everybody in the chat. Let me get some ones in the chat if you're ready to make some money today. We're going to start that off with a little bit of a poll. One, if you want to make money. All right, let me go ahead and bring 13 on, enjoying a sip of his coffee. Look at that timing, 13. I was able to get you on there right as the cup was coming up. We didn't even wait for you to finish that sip.
How's everybody doing this morning?
We're doing great, and guess what? They are flooding the chat with ones, so we are ready to make some money today. Right. Let's dive in and take a look at what we're going for here. First of all, before we get started, I just wanted to reassure everyone here that the hardware connecting and disconnecting sound that you heard yesterday will no longer be a part of the stream here today. I could not figure out. I updated a whole bunch of different drivers yesterday. Could not figure out what's causing it, so I simply disabled the sound. So I have no sound for that, so you should not hear that here today. If you hear any other funny sounds, let me know. We'll go ahead and take care of that too. But let's get down to brass tacks here and talk about the market. We do have the SPY trading above that 480 level. This is really the level that we've been focusing on for some time. What I'm noticing here is that we're actually holding these, but we're not also moving higher. So yesterday's intraday high print I had at 485.22. We're currently at 484.04. So for me, more upside move is going to mean what happens at that 485.22 area, maybe 485 to 485.50. Maybe that entire area might be resistance. So we'll see how the market actually trades around that when that gets started here. And we'll go from there in terms of the broader market. Now, taking a look at some of the other charts here, VIX absolutely smoked down at 1319. We'll see what that ends up doing. Bitcoin lost 40K, so I thought it might be able to hold 40K. It has not. Bitcoin futures chart here, 38,635. So Bitcoin moving down. That also means that all of those stocks are in play. Now, before we go ahead and get started with some of the stocks that we're taking a look at here, 13, it is time to remind you that this stream is in fact sponsored by Trade the Pool. If you need a prop firm, if you need to get above that 25K, if you need some more active trading in your life, please check out Trade the Pool. They are great support, great people, great platform, and a gigantic pool of stocks to trade from. Get up to 260K worth of buying power to do that. Now, we're going to use that here today, and we're going to try and trade some of these things today. So we got a number of things going on. So let me go ahead and flip over to the movers tool here. Before we start talking about some of these smaller stocks that are going to be day trading targets for us, there are a couple of things that I think we should discuss on some of like the larger stocks here. So the first one that I'm going to start with is going to be Netflix. This is a stock that we've talked about quite a bit here on the show. This is definitely one of the tech darlings. Everybody loves their Netflix subscription. I seem to be the only person that I know that does not have one, but that's another story. We did get some news here. First of all, we have earnings after market today. We have the conference call today. And then this morning, we got news that, let me find it here. Netflix and WWE announced long-term partnership bringing WWE's Raw program to Netflix. Netflix to be exclusive home of Raw in the U.S., Canada, UK, and Latin America. Said that the TKO Group, which I believe is the holdings company that owns all of the wrestling assets, said an agreement with Netflix has an initial 10-year term for an aggregate rights fee in excess of $5 billion. As you can imagine, Netflix trading up here, up about 1.8% prior to the bell here. TKO, the holdings company, up big here today. So, oh, this is really weird. It's not showing my movers tool on the Let's see why that didn't work. Okay. Share this tab instead. There we go. Okay. So here we go. So really the question is going to be, is there more juice here for Netflix? Now, I will say I did watch wrestling when I was younger, but I have been completely disconnected from that for several decades. So I just don't know what the material impact is going to be here, right? I don't know. What does this mean for Netflix going forward? Are we going to trade up? Are we going to take out that pre-market high of 502.96? I don't know, but this is a big piece of news here. It's absolutely driving Netflix. I would imagine we're going to see some action in this stock as well as the contracts as soon as the market opens. So keep that on your radar here. Netflix moving with that piece of news. I would like to hear from any of you what you guys think about that. Nick saying TKO is the UFC fighting. The PR here, that might be true. Again, this is not my wheelhouse, not my forte here, but it sure seems like TKO is part of the stock that's in this deal. One of the other things, if we take a look at that TKO chart, you'll see that this is up 21.8% here this morning. This thing just a massive move up. So we'll see. And good morning, Gil. There he is. I was wondering. Good morning. And this is Dana White's company. Okay, cool. So so ADW saying WWE fake wrestling scripted. That's not what this discussion is about. I understand that that's the case. I don't watch it. So I don't necessarily know how popular it is, but I do remember back in the day, it used to be extremely popular. So what kind of business impact does this have on Netflix? I'm definitely not trading my NFL playoffs for WWE. That's
you said it, brother.
Okay. Hey, I like that. Was a Hulk Hogan impression right there? Yeah. Okay. Well, I got it. So, okay. So that's what's going on here. TKO, Netflix, a couple more. I guess we can start with the movers list here. 13, was there anything else that you wanted to cover before I go ahead and run down some of these smaller stocks?
Just a few things, because I'll get into the smaller stocks with you as well. But I did notice that I believe it was the Crow that also pointed it out just as we started here. China markets are starting to rise, and that should be on news that they're weighing on measures to prop up its stock markets, looking to mobilize about 278 billion. There's been a speculation for the longest time that China's going to add stimulus to their markets since they've been beaten up so badly. So one thing that we could watch, and maybe there's a trade in there after this run that it's had this morning, YINN. That's the triple leveraged ETF for China stocks. That one's taken off this morning. So
yeah, that's the bull levered one.
Yes.
3X bull.
Yes. So that's something that I found interesting, and we could definitely pull some trades out of that. Other than that, I just have a bunch of other smaller names.
So real quick, just on that China news here, one of the big stocks that's likely going to affect, it already has, is BABA here. Bloomberg reported late Monday, China weighing the $278 billion stock market rescue package. That's what 13 just told you about. BABA up 6% here in the pre-market. Your point's well taken here about yin. There's also going to be a lot of other Chinese stocks that we trade back and forth. Some of the ones that come to name here are going to be Baidu, PDD. This news post here in Pro actually does a really good job of laying out some of the other stocks that are likely going to move. NEO and LI are on there as well. So is XPEV.
JD's up there.
JD is up there. Great call.
BYDDF and Y, which is the BYD, the car company. That doesn't look like it. No, it is. I'm sorry. I have to take that back. It's moving. It just doesn't have, it's OTC, so I don't have a whole lot of live data.
And I generally stay away from that just from the problems with the fills there. But PDD is another one here. This thing's an absolute monster. Expect some movement from here. So should be some big things to trade no matter what you're looking for. Real quick before we hit some of those smaller stocks, I know you were just gearing up there. I did want to kind of close the books here on the Bitcoin that we talked about. Bitcoin is below 40K. That's causing some I don't know, my chart just got disconnected there. Let me try that one more time. Okay, that's not working. Oh my God. There's Coinbase. We'll start with Coinbase here. A lot of these stocks that follow Bitcoin moving down here. Coinbase, as you can see, down 5% here. Riot and Mara, the same thing. And we have some levels here. Resistance for coin at 130, support at 118 on coin. We're really close to that lower end of that support range. So if coin actually moves down there, Bitcoin holds and reverses, you might actually have a trade here in coin today to the upside. If it keeps breaking down, maybe we actually take coin lower on a 118 snap here. The other thing I wanted to do is I want to check Riot real quick. I don't think I'm going to get a price quote there. We'll see what happens when these actually open. Here's Mara. You can see this is moving here. This just lost 16. We'll see if we go down any further. But those Bitcoin stocks definitely going to be in play as well as those Chinese stocks. Okay, 13. What kind of smaller names do you have? I got some on my list here, so I'll go over any that you don't cover.
Okay, so thank you. There's a bunch of these really small penny names that are getting pushed around a lot today, and it seems like a lot of them are esports related, which is interesting. So there might be some kind of theme where it's just risk on. Right now, the more robust ones that we've been seeing lately, RVSN, that's Rail Vision. That one's getting moved around again. Low float stock, had some news recently, easy to push around. Another one, ENSC, seeing that show up in the chat a bit. They actually announced an FDA breakthrough therapy designation. And what that is obviously it speaks for itself. It's a designation by the FDA. And what that allows them to do is kind of bring their product to market with the FDA's help. Without getting into the thick of it, it's a good designation to have, but it's going to be one of those things where we'll see it pop and then it's going to come right back down in a short period of time. So this is not something you would want to buy and hold on. RUM, this is off of a public launch of their Rumble Studio. I don't know too much about what that is, but it's a product announcement. So that's moving. And then finally, I have SBET, SBET. This is another one that's moving. It's low float. They are selling some business units for $22.5 million, and they have a market cap of just over 5. So that should help move that up a bit today.
Yeah, SBET here, the one thing to note here, this did pop as high as 5. It's traded all the way back down to 2. Absolutely wild here. There's going to be plenty of these plays here today. 13, you just hit pretty much all of them off the list here. ENSC, definitely, we're going to be taking a look at that. RVSN, we've actually already traded that here this week. We'll do that again. RUM is really interesting here. This also, I think, has had a huge move here today. We did pop just shy of 7, traded all the way back down to 450, and now here we are at 6. So already carving out a rather huge range here on Rumble. This thing likely to be crazy. We talked a little bit about TKO as well. You talked about SBET. Plug popping here. I don't really like this as a company, but it is great to trade. I've been trading this for a number of years, getting another move here on Plug. I would say FSR also in that here. Fisker, I know we've traded that before. Nice looking double top here at 110 if that can continue to move up here. And we already talked about some of those China ETFs, right? You mentioned yen, that's gapping up here. Yang, of course, moving to the downside. So you should be able to play either one of those depending on the direction that you want to play. Looking at the list here and kind of rounding it out, I do see JD, KWeb, ALIT, a couple other names, and I see Lucid on here. So likely to be, we'll see what happens when the market actually opens here. I don't necessarily have a whole lot of great plays that I feel great about, certainly not to buy here in the pre-market, but I'm optimistic that when this market actually opens, we're going to have stuff to do here right around the open.
Yeah, and I think it's also worth mentioning some of these other ones that we've traded previously, and earlier this week and last week. DWAC is just absolutely, taken off. We saw yesterday after the show, it decided, you know what, show's over, let's go to 50. And with the 50, it did. Now we are looking at 62 as a high print in the pre-market, and it's currently trying to get back above 50 right now. By no means is this not in play, but you got to understand that on the daily RSI, this thing has it's almost 100, which is very, very overbought. I'd expect this to go higher at some point, but I think we need to see some coming back in of the price, some cooling off, if you will, before we make that next big run. And there will be some other runs in this, I believe. Yeah,
I completely agree with you there. The other thing to note here, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not making a prediction either way. I don't own this at the moment at all in any exposure. But the other thing here is that today is that New Hampshire primary. And when we first started talking about DWAC, we brought this up that this actually might run from when we first started talking about it through today. And guess what? That's exactly what it did. Today, we're likely to see some headlines come out about what's going on with that primary. I don't know when we're supposed to expect it. I don't know when the polls close. I don't know when we're going to get. There's a lot I don't know. But what I am saying here is we might have some headlines come out, and this might be one of the sell the news things too. We've seen that before here. So now that the primary is actually happening, let's see with DWAC. If you're going to trade this, just have a plan for either direction. It's the best piece of advice I can give. Don't say, well, I know this is going to do this. Have a plan in case it behaves in either direction. That way you should be able to take advantage of it.
Both EKS and the Crow nailed it. The Crow especially saying what I was mentioning yesterday on Happy Hour. The big catalyst for this stock DWAC would be Nikki Haley dropping out. We just saw this huge move it had, and that was off of Ron DeSantis dropping out.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. That's going to be huge. And then
I totally agree. And then I also want to agree with EKS here. Yep. DWAC never had positive net income. It's burning cash. It's a meme stock, not an investment. Absolutely. That is absolutely correct. And that's one of the warnings that we've tried to scream from the rooftop since we started talking about this. The reality is that this stock has made a monster move, 23 to 50 in a few days. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about this type of stock on the show.
And there's some other ideas around this too that we've also discussed and traded. Fun PHUN moves with this. There was another one, SBGI, I believe it is, Sinclair Broadcasting. There's also Gray Television. I don't think I have the ticker off the top of my head of that, but it's like a GTV or something like that. I'll have to get that for you. But so all these ones that are going to be revolving around the election are really starting to get noticed and moving up. So they're worth taking a look and maybe making some considerations for trading.
Yeah, and this Sinclair, this is a little bit more serious here than DWAC, but both of those, that Greystone. And yeah, I keep forgetting the ticker. I know we talked about that yesterday, but I'm getting it mixed up. These seem a little bit more serious for the angle of political advertising and things of that nature. I think what we're doing here with DWAC is we're really just trying to capture momentum. Definitely seems to be a lot of people trading this on Twitter back and forth. Just kind of keep that in mind. But that's what's going on here this morning. All right. Is there any other stocks that you folks want to take a look at? I am going to flip over to my main tab here and see what's going on the relative volume scanner.
Great Television was GTN, by the way.
GTN. Okay, thank you very much. It was GT something. I couldn't remember. And look at that chart. Looks actually very, very similar to Sinclair, which we were just taking a look at. So GTN, these all moving here. Let's take a look at that daily chart. This actually looks like this is coming up on that breakout. Maybe this breaks out from 10. We'll see. Plug still getting some movement here in the pre-market. Oh, my thing froze here. Not sure what happened right there. Yeah, I'm all locked up.
What is Pelosi buying this morning? That's a good question.
Only knew, yeah,
that's a good question. I think when her husband makes a stock pick, it's not too bad. But I like that. I like that news. I like the news because it's something you can trade on.
Sorry, I'm just taking a look at some of these stocks that are in play here. ENSC, nice little rejection there at the VWAP. That's interesting. Can you hear anything in the background?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah.
Nope,
so
not even the birds.
What?
Not even the birds.
Yeah. Well, actually, he's taking a bit of a breather there. He's taking a nap. Looks like he just had breakfast. So.
Okay. Finally get off tweeting.
Looks good. Hey, Cleo. All right. So I'm pretty much ready to go here. Let's take a look. We are just under 4 minutes until the market opens. Again, and is there anything that you folks want to take a look at? Jay Summers, you mentioned DTSS on a reverse split, right? Let's take a look at that. I actually didn't see that here on the, what on earth is going on?
DTSS, Data C? What is this about?
Yeah, we've traded this one here before, but Jay Summers here mentioning that this is a reverse split here. Data set shares are trading lower after the company announced a 1-for-15 reverse stock split. That was on Friday, January 19th.
What else do they have going on with it? Is there like a short interest, low float?
Don't see much. Short interest only 1.3%. Days to cover under 2. It's literally right at 1. Yeah, I don't see much here on DTSS. Not to say it can't go, but I just don't see it yet. We'll see if this ends up start moving.
That's interesting. Well, you know what? That's probably because of the reverse split. Okay.
Hey, Easy Mike, good to see you this morning. Good morning. Hope you're well. We actually led with TKO here this morning. Now, I would like to hear if you have any trade plan on that, Easy Mike. Up like $20. Yeah, like I said, this was actually one of the first stocks we covered, this and Netflix on that here. No, it's okay. I just wanted, if you have any trading plan, are you looking for this, maybe a move to 100? Are you looking for maybe a regression back to the mean, maybe a pullback and then a move higher? Yeah, I'm not sure how to trade this unless you were already in it. If you were already in it, you're having a pretty good morning. You know, one of the other stocks we might as well mention, and we haven't yet, is SGMT. This was from yesterday. It was another huge mover yesterday. The good news here so far is that we're actually not breaking down. Looks like this is going to try and move higher here, maybe even break out. I have the high print yesterday of 2071. We'll see if we can get up there. SGMT, at least so far, looking good on the price. Really needs to see some more volume to match the performance that it had yesterday. About a minute and a half till we open here.
So with TKO, if we're looking for ways to trade this, I'm looking at the daily chart and I see that we have, this hasn't been around for too long. And I see that there's a gap shortly after we IPO'd, or however this was brought to market. We haven't filled that gap yet. That gap looks like it fills at, it fills at about what? 100 and
yeah, I have this right at 100 pretty much. 165 maybe, 100 and change, right there at 100. Mm-hmm. The low here,
and then you're going to have supply in that area between there and about 105, 106, and then it's blue skies after that. I have no idea. Nobody really has any idea where this is going to end up. But I think fibs would be really good to put on here if you're wanting to see some potential levels. So I would probably use fibs if you're looking for trading this when it breaks out into blue sky territory.
So it's funny. I actually just glanced up. I've got CNBC on another monitor here. I just glanced up. They've got Vince McMahon and The Rock and a host of other people getting ready to ring the bell. Easy Mike said Rock is on CNBC. This is what he meant to say here. That's my favorite comment, though. Vince looks 100. Man, plastic surgery gone wrong. What's going on with Vince McMahon? It looks crazy. He looks absolutely crazy. Stuff is wild. Good for them, though. They're about to ring the bell. Looks he toned down his eyebrows a little bit, thankfully. Looks like there's I recognize some of these people from a child. That's Triple H, I think. Okay, we're open here.
Yep. Let's see what happens.
We are open here, folks.
I kind of want to just watch DWAC out the open because I think that one's going to move a lot.
Yeah, I think you're probably right here. SBAT not really doing much of anything. Let's see what we can get here on DWAC. DWAC's first move here is down. Ian, by the way, that first move here is up. Let me go ahead and flip over here. Let's see what we can do with our trading platform. One sec here. Bam, bam. And then this, and then remove. Nope.
Yeah, run is going out the open.
Come on. Where are you? There we go.
Rum trying to break that 625. It's making its way through. There it goes. I don't have levels for this one. Okay. And real quick, I actually forgot to do this here. I'm still carrying ZIM, still carrying TGTX. Really glad to see TGTX moving back up to where it was here. I think that sell-off was definitely overdone. ZIM, still kind of hanging out here. We'll see if this makes its next leg higher here. Still holding it, not really down a whole lot here on ZIM. Okay. One thing to watch with DWAC, now that we're going down and it's breaking through some levels, all morning, I'm working in pre-market. It went below the $45 level, and this got bought right back up. I'm not saying that that's going to happen again, but that's something I'm going to watch to see if it happens, because then that would be a good signal.
Okay, real quick, one of the things I'm noticing here, DWAC's first move here is down. Fun, PHUN, which is normally related to it, is diverging. First move here is up. That looks like that's testing 48 cents, maybe even a 50 cent on the breakout here. So some divergence early. Let's see if there's a regression back to the mean on one of these names.
Sydney Osborne asking about the warrants.
The warrants, yep, that's DWAC-W for those warrants. Those are tradable and trade the pool. This thing is only $18.50. They have a similar pattern to DWAC, it looks like. Crow mentioning that Save is on the run. This is one that we've been talking about here. Spirit Airlines moving up here. Certainly looks like it might find some resistance right here. Let's call it 878. 880. But if we can keep moving up there, maybe we move back into the low teens here on Save. Spirit Airlines definitely moving up here out of the gate. Lynn, great to see you this morning. Tesla moving here out of the gate. Nice power candle here on Tesla to the upside. It's actually, it looks like this would be great if we could kind of turn this around on the daily chart. We'll see here. Hourly chart looks pretty good too.
Save actually put out some news about preliminary earnings, and it looks like they're going to be beating expectations if what they put out is true. And it's interesting too, because we just had United Airlines yesterday, and they had a really good quarter. Yep. It's looking like airlines are going to post a really good quarter because travel was up so much over the holidays. So that could be a good thing to get into ahead of their earnings, and then maybe sell just before. I think that their earnings are going to be sell the news. After
Save pull back here to the VWAP, which would be pretty awesome. Let's see if we get down there. Might even take a stab at this here. Let's see if we get filled here on Save for a potential day trade.
ENSC moved up out of the open. It's above VWAP now.
Up, couldn't get that fill. Trying to be frugal here and get a fill on that bottom end of that pullback here. It just never filled me. My orders just kind of left sitting out there.
Let's see.
Okay, you mentioned ENSC, right? Let's bring that up here.
ENSC, it's trying to it's
this is looking good.
The 155 level, and it's holding above VWAP. The next level I got to break is 165, and we almost got there at the open. Not quite.
Took some ENSC here. I am going to take this for the break. We'll add if this comes in a little bit lower. Let me cancel my Save order just so I can kind of keep an eye on what's going on here. Positions. Let's go back to ENSC. Spirit, that was a great call, though, Crow. That was a great call on Spirit. That thing's moving here. Let's see. Oh my God, right down to the lows. You got to be kidding me. Let's hang in here a little bit more and see if we can't get this puppy to bounce. Let's see if it holds these lows here. Big size down here, by the way.
Might try to shake out some of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit more here. We're gonna get crazy today. We're gonna do some more active trading. Yesterday, here's the thing. Yesterday, I didn't feel great. Started the day with a whole lot of blood. Didn't really have my mojo, so didn't actually make any trades on the show. Want to change that around here today. This I actually like with some of the things that we're spotting here today. I really like that Save. I do feel a little bit late to it. Didn't get filled on that pullback, but we'll see here on ENSC. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'd probably have my stop at about 135 on that one. I think that's what I'm going to do. I decided I'm going to get in this with you.
Let's go.
Because it's if we can get that VWAP to break again, get above 155, this could it's testing it now.
Yeah, and one of the things we'd really like to see here is really like to see a move through that high, because that's likely going to pop it and send it towards that 181 level. I know that we're not talking, it's not really that far off from where we're at, but we'll see if this can get going here.
Yeah, and I also see some folks talking about some of the bigger names, like
so let me go. You know what? That's a really good call. Let me go ahead and get a stop set here. There we go. We'll let this kind of work here. I do want to flip around to those. Maybe we should get a target sell as well. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put this out here at 180. There we go. We'll just let this work here. So now we're going positive on here. Let's see if we can get a trade to work out here. Stop and target set here. Although I don't really like the risk to reward. I feel like I should adjust this more. I basically almost have a 1-to-1, maybe a 1.5 to. We'll see here. Let me roll through some of the other names, and then we'll tighten this up as this continues to move. You guys were mentioning RVSN. Got a lot going on here. Glad I had coffee this morning. RVSN, let's take a look at that. That is moving here through the VWAP up towards those highs. This is the exact type of movement we wanted from ENSC. We're getting it here on RVSN. Next spot here, definitely going to be these pre-market highs. I've got this at 389. Let's call it 390. Currently at 364 here. RVSN, this one moving here. Great call early on, guys and gals. Excuse me. Market Sniper mentioning SLDP. Let's take a look at that. We actually haven't looked at that at all here yet today. Solid power here, this moving higher. What's going on with this one?
Let's take a look.
Kyle James mentioning BABA. That was off our list here this morning, and some of the news in the China stimulus. Those continuing higher here. BABA looking good. Took out those pre-market highs. Let's take a look at PDD on that. PDD, interesting. This is the opposite. PDD moving towards the lows here, giving up those pre-market gains. What were some of the other ones that we had? JD
Fun.
was one that you mentioned. Fun?
Yeah, we got... someone was saying, Quantum is saying funds going nuts. Well, it's whipping around. That's for sure.
Well, no, he's right. We pushed up here. Let me see. Where did this high go? We pushed up to this 48 cents, came all the way back to VWAP and actually snapped it down to 40. Here's the thing with these penny stocks, guys. We're talking about a 6 cent. This is crazy, but we're talking about a 6 cent range here. It's like, how many thousands of shares would you really need to make this? I don't know. This is one of the reasons why I don't really like penny stocks. But you're right. The action here pretty crazy.
So ENSC, not liking the fact that we're getting so much top wicking happening here. I lowered my my sell orders a bit to just kind of take a little bit of profit and get out. So one filled there. I just, if we're not getting up to 165 like I was thinking we would, it's just taking too long. So I'm a little concerned. I just wanted to get some profit and get out of this one and maybe move on to the next trade.
Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do then to tighten up my trade? I'm going to move my stop up to 150 here. Now I actually have a 3-to-1 risk to reward. So this is either going to work or it's not. And if it doesn't, it's not actually going to hurt me that much. I think this is a little bit better in terms of risk reward. We'll see. This is the first trade out of the gate. Really wanted to get my feet wet here.
DWAC still moving around between 46.75 and 50.
SGMT not really doing much here. Looks like yesterday was its day, and see, I don't really see much going on here.
All right, I need to take a look at this. Bear with me. I'm just trying to.
Oh, you're good, man. I'm still looking around here. INOD from yesterday looks like that's trying to pop and go higher here. That was a nice move yesterday.
Yeah, I was looking for it to come back into that 925 area that I'd mentioned. But if it's going to keep going, then I'm just going to, take another
13. I think you're right here on ENSC. Oh, I thought I was going to get stopped there. We'll see. That's either going to work or it's not. We have the plan set. Don't need to babysit it. Jay, you had mentioned NVIDIA weak out of the gate. You actually listed several of them out of the gate here. I don't see it anymore. Let me see if I can go back up and find it. NVIDIA, ARM, AMD, all red. NVIDIA here looks like this is bouncing pretty clean off that, what do I have, that 588? So NVIDIA looks like this is bouncing here. Let's take a look at ARM. This thing's been an absolute rager. ARM, same deal. AMD.
SLDP, that's a share repurchase program.
Stopped out at ENSC, by the way, on the downside. Damn. Okay. AMD, NVIDIA, and ARM all sold off out of the gate. All of them bouncing here. Netflix, you're mentioning Netflix fading here. Okay, although this looks like this is kind of slowing down here. This is right where we were yesterday. It's really kind of just gave up any of those pre-market gains. We'll see if this gets rolling here on Netflix.
Yeah, ENSC, that when it was making those longer top wicks and not getting above VWAP, that was the big concern for me. So I had to take that exit. Yeah,
no, that was a good exit. I actually took a small loss on that. I probably you at least paid yourself on the way up there like that. DWAC here really kind of holding in right around the VWAP, although this I'm seeing a pretty big sell candle, biggest candle of the day here, definitely selling. And we're wicking in both directions here. I got to think DWAC probably moves lower. We'll see though.
DTSS just had another pop. Is this thing? Yeah, this is a little bit spready.
This is that one that had that reverse split, right? So you're going to have the float is going to be shrunk by a factor of 15. And I don't know what it was to begin with. So,
well, I mean, right now I'm getting a read that it's the float is 21 million. So if they reverse split that,
so it's low float now.
It's even lower float.
Yeah, I got to think that that float number in there does not reflect the reverse split.
It does. It does.
Oh, it does reflect. Okay.
The 15-to-1 reverse split was on Friday, so that's already past news.
It was announced then. I wonder when it took effect though. Anyway, RVSN being mentioned here in the chat. Let's take a look at Rail Vision. That has actually been a great trade here so far. This back to the VWAP. We'll see if this firms up here. Johnny's asking about shorting Pfizer. I don't know what your thesis is there. This is a no-touch stock for me. I just hate this company. Crow
I think,
saying Save's about to take 9. Save, this has been a big rager here. Man, that VWAP fill would have been great. I can't believe it didn't get filled. I'd have been 1 for 2 today and probably in the green. Actually, definitely in the green on that if we had bounced here.
I'd imagine that the Pfizer short idea is probably predicated on lowered need for COVID vaccinations. That's just the only theory. And I know they also had some kind of warehouse fire last year or something that got destroyed. So I think all that's been priced in. I don't know about a short. I couldn't give you a good answer on shorting this.
Yeah,
I imagine
Johnny,
that's what it would be.
So I said I don't know what the thesis is here, but I hate the company. Johnny responding, that's why, LOL. So here's what I'm going to say about that. All seriousness, okay? There have been plenty of times where there's companies that I really don't like or have a moral problem with, and Pfizer is absolutely one of them. Philip Morris would be another one. Any of the other cigarette companies after losing my father to lung cancer. What I will say is, be careful with that because you're absolutely trading on emotion. You're absolutely trading on your own opinion and your own viewpoint, and it can be a little bit tougher if you do that. So just cursory warning, not saying you can't, just be careful. I like to try and make my trades as mechanical as possible so that I don't really care either way. Save here at 9. Looks like they're hitting it too. I see Prince at 9. 9 looks like this is going to fall here on Save. Definitely want to buy this on a pullback though. Yin slowing down up here at 1580-ish.
It'd be great to see Save recover everything that it lost when they announced the blocking of the merger, but this looks like it's forming a bear flag. I'd have to think that it comes back in.
So what do you think on a potential? So there we go. We just moved through 9. What do you think on a potential long set? What would you need to have happen here? What do we need? What do we need to happen? Well, does this need to pull into the VWAP? Does it need to pull into a specific level? What do we need here to make this a decent long side trade?
Well, it needs to not file bankruptcy. That's one thing it needs to not do.
We'll start with the obvious one. It needs to not file. You know what, though? You know what's funny about that is that we've actually seen, how many bankruptcy stocks have we seen? Stock says, oh, we're going to file Chapter 11. The stock runs 200%. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, we'll take a look here at Save. Let us know if this is pulling back here. Save, an absolute monster out of the gate. Crow, just an amazing call. If you bought right when you called that. Awesome stuff there on Save. That's one we've been watching. SBET here is the Smoke Tuna. You thinking that this might be curling here? I think Smoke Tuna, you're looking at the SMACD, right? We've got the histogram kind of compressing, maybe turning positive. Maybe we get these signal lines to curl back up here and a move back to the VWAP on SBET. Is that what you're looking for here on SBET? This does look like this came up off the bottom. I've got 185, excuse me, is that low print.
Yeah, Nick and Lynn, yeah, it is. This movement is off the appeal. There's a lot of other things in play with this too. As soon as that appeal came out, or that they wanted to appeal, and that they got JetBlue to start the process, they also started releasing preliminary earnings. Comes kind of like some Q4 guidance into their earnings, which is coming up. Let me get you an exact date, but it's the dividend. It's a lot of bullish things happening after a really bad day. They report earnings on the 8th of February. So we could see a run up into that, and then maybe that's going to be a sell the news event.
A couple of people saying, Smoke Tuna saying SGMT setting up here. Crow saying SGMT possible red to green move here now. And it looks like it's stopping here at the VWAP. And by the way, on that SBET that we were just taking a look at, Tuna saying, yeah, this is setting up here on SBET. So we'll see if this can actually take 2. I've got a low intraday print here, 185. That needs to get defended. We'll see if 2 gets taken out here. If we get a continued setup with the MACD histogram and the signal lines, maybe we'll take a look at this SBET, ticker SBET. Big spread here now, 13 cents on SBET.
Yeah, big order at $2 too that they need to get through as well. Let's see, fun and DWACs. Oh, DWAC is actually dropping.
Okay, it's using the VWAP here as resistance and is moving lower here now on DWAC. By the way, Yin also moving, maybe a regression back to the mean here. I got VWAP at 1543 on Yin. That's moving back down.
Yeah, this 43 level in DWAC is one of the levels I had going up. So now it's support. We could probably break that. If we do, it's going to probably about 41.30 and then $40 after that. Those are the next levels I got. Let's see. What are we just kind of cooling off for the next move here in some of these? It's okay. We're just getting some slight pullback before
NVVE. This is a nice looking chart here. Wiz, what's going on here? I know you just called the ticker here. This actually looks like a curl and maybe a move to new highs on NVVE. Let me check the news here on Pro.
RBSN is, it's trying to get up to the pre-market highs. If we get up to 385,
16 million project for Fresno Economic Opportunities Commission. Okay, 50. So decent PR here on NVVE. Wiz.
385 to 390 on RVSN. That looks like a breakout area. So we'll see what happens with that. It would be nice if we could at least get back up there. That was the pre-market highs, 389.
I see some bids size here at 345.
Yeah.
See some size flashing in on the offer here too.
They're starting to really come in with RVSN, the bids.
Nice little pull there beneath the view app. Okay, let's see where this stops here on RVSN.
Probably about 325, I'd imagine.
Tesla taking a break here. Apple taking a break here. Netflix really just kind of holding its level from yesterday. Just basically gave up its pre-market gains, and that's it.
This is where the level where RVSN needs to pick back up. Otherwise, we're probably going lower.
SGMT. Let's take a look at that here. Let me know if RVSN requires us to take another look at it here. SGMT, I think you're right here. This might be gearing here. It did break above its VWAP. It is spready though, which is you want to. And here we go. Let's see if this. Yeah, and right back through the VWAP. See, got to be really, really good on your entry here, Tuna. I'm sure you are. I'm just saying. It's not something I'm going to chase here. Look at Raytheon after earnings. God, what a great trade this was. We actually traded Raytheon here. We day traded it. Should have held that. Should have swung that. That was like a 73 buy on Raytheon.
Yeah, I bought this a bunch last year when it was having those Pratt and Whitney engine problems.
Yeah,
that was a good weakness buy. Now we're filling a gap. We're actually, we could probably end up continue to go to 95. We're filling that gap that we made back in July.
Yeah, Lynn, I don't see any big macro news to account for this reversal here. It might just be kind of trading action. Actually, the market looks like it's holding up pretty well here.
Let's take a look at the broader market and see if I can find anything that's going on. I mean, we are once again getting a little extended here. We might see some sideways action until some of these tech names start reporting.
Yep.
Maybe that's tonight with Netflix.
I was going to say we got our first one here tonight. And I think that might also be playing into the movement here on Netflix, right? It seems a little bit muted because of earnings here tonight.
ENSC is trying to come back. It's burst up through 155, and it's above VWAP again.
Phase penny stock bouncing back up to the VWAP here. Let's take a look at ENSC.
And
it shook me out.
Yeah, it's trying to do it again where it's top wicking. It might push through this time. I really don't know. There's a lot of sell orders above 155.
See, here's my first stop. I shouldn't have moved the stop up. My first stop was 141. I'd still be in this, and that was the pre-market low that this thing made. Adjusted my stop, get paid, get punished. That was my own fault.
Yeah, I don't know. That was ENSC.
That was bad trading on my part.
It looks like it could push through, but there's so many sell orders. You'd have to have some kind of whale come in and knock all that out. 165, so the next level hasn't gotten there yet. What else?
Lynn's saying they're watching the DWAC bounce here. Yeah, Here's the thing. I want to see some strength here, and I would probably use the volume as the leading indicator here. Volume definitely skewed to the sell side here so far today. It might use this VWAP as resistance, right? So you might get these stops where it pops on a little bar of volume there, like kind of like what we're seeing right in here, and then might come up to the VWAP and stop there. So a couple of things. Number one, for a big time higher move, I want to see this pattern stop. Number two, if we're going to try and take trades here, when you confirms a bounce and a bottom like this, first sell order should definitely be at the VWAP. Pay yourself on the way out so you can get some gains on this in case it doesn't break through.
With DWAC, if we don't get above $45 in the next 10 or 15 minutes, we're probably headed lower.
And the good news here is we're only, 50 cents away from that? Looks like it's trying.
Yeah, we need it. I want to see some close.
You want to see a candle close above that, though, don't you? Yeah.
Yep. And right now, it's trying to get above it, and we're just getting some resistance. Also, the 200 EMA is right where this the price is, so it's getting some pressure from that as well. What else do we got? There was another one. There was one I was looking at previous. Oh, SLDP. This one popped out at the open. It's a little, not really spready. It might be reversing here. It looks like it could give a trade. It's just really, really slow moving right now.
Solid Power looks like a nice little move down here to the VWAP. It looks like it is bouncing off of this. It's just not a whole lot of movement yet.
Right.
SLDP. Netflix continuing to curl back towards the upside. Bitcoin really just kind of dead here. Just no action, no movement even. Tesla resuming its trade back mean reversion, excuse me. PYXS, smoke tuna, taking a look at. Let's take a look at that. PYXS, Pixis Oncology here. Interesting, moving to the highs. Looks like I missed a trade here on this one. This actually looks pretty good. Let me chart this on Pro real fast.
Let me see what this is about. What's the news on this one? Okay, so they got coverage. I don't see anything else. There's a price target. They got an outperform rating with a price target of 12.
Yeah, and this is right back into a consolidation area. High I see here, the recent high, 7? And this came from, this looks like this was a SPAC. Pixis Oncology. Maybe it's gone through the de-SPACing process. This one interesting.
Yeah, it's then at this point you're gonna have to look at some of these financial statements and see. I mean, if this is gonna be a long play for anybody, I'd have to look at the financial statements.
No revenue.
Yeah.
Don't have a debt reading.
Yeah.
14.7 million cash.
And the market believes it's worth 113 million.
And God, there's a lot going on here in the chat. You guys are absolutely destroying it yet again in the good way, by the way, destroying in the good way.
RQT. This is an old girlfriend, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we've traded that one here before. NVVE WIS, great call here. This one halted now. So big push up there, halted, low volume, NVVE. Nice catch there, WIS. Nice catch.
SLDP still looking like as long as we can hold above VWAP, I think that this could make another up move, but it's going to take a bit of time, maybe another 10 or 15 minutes. There was another one I was looking at that I said another 10 or 15 minutes on. What was that? Was that
RVSN?
Yeah, that might have been. Let me see here.
Yin might be moving back to the highs. Jay Rice liked this a lot. Did you see VRM? It joined SFT in bankruptcy. Carvana's the only one left. Hint, hint.
So what's Carvana doing?
Carvana moving lower here. $47 though. I think the long-term outlook here negative on Carvana. And with a $47 price target, there's definitely money to be made there. That would be my guess.
I mean, it's a candidate for a squeeze. So
ARQT continuing to move higher here. Good looking daily chart here on ARQT. Breakout above 442. We stopped right here at the 100-day moving average. So we'll see if we can actually take that out here. ARQT. Interesting. Order flow trader. We talked a little bit about Bitcoin earlier here, saying Bitcoin needs to dip to 37,500 for reloading to the upside. You know what's crazy about this is that I mean, I don't have the chart in front of me, but I could totally see this being the case. Bitcoin loves to do that, right? It loves to put in these crazy highs where everyone's like, oh my God, look at Bitcoin. And then it really, really pulls back and people are like, Bitcoin's dead. And then it reloads and goes for those highs. I've seen that pattern play out before. I suspect to see it again here.
I completely agree with that level. It's an old level that I have. It was a breakout level previously back in December. I absolutely agree with that. 37.5. That's a good level. All right, let me go back.
Here's Tesla. So Voodoo looks like Tesla cleared a quick 2-min scalp for a half of a point there. Was that a scalp to the downside? I mean, this has already produced moves to the upside and the downside here. Tesla's wild already. We're looking for the next up move here on Tesla. I don't know if we get it, though. I don't know if we get it right here, I should say. Tell you what, looking at the Bitcoin 5-minute chart, it looks like it wants to move up, and it hasn't yet. We got time on that one.
ENSC finally popped up to 165 and then came back in. We're still above VWAP for the moment. It might break down here, though.
Yeah, so the takeaway here on ENSC is my first buy was literally a buy at resistance. And I tried to add near support, stop out right under support, got flushed, and we still haven't broke that resistance here on ENSC. So really again, this just kind of goes back to my overarching thing where I've been saying that buy the pullbacks because that seems to work better than actually buying some of those upside moves. But that's when it's enticing, right? It looks like it's going to move. It's trading on volume. You can see here the volume was expanding. That's what we were looking for. And then it just dried up. Should have stayed in, though. My first stop would have protected me on this trade.
Seems to be a consensus with Zim that once we get trading under 13, that buyers start coming in. It's been doing that for the past 3 trading sessions now.
Yeah, I think that might be your ad spot here, 13. We'll see if we get that again. Short. Voodoo, you were scalping that short. Awesome.
I'm waiting for
EYPT about to break out. You don't say. Oh my God. Yes, it is. Great call here. Dustin. Oh, this was a massive master winner courtesy of Zoltan from our news desk team. We were buying this when we first started. Yeah, Cleo, I know you like EYPT too.
Watch this wall. Oh, $25. There was a huge wall there that just got obliterated. It should see some movement now.
I still see a little size there, but not very much.
It was 9,000 shares a moment ago.
Yep.
It's only 400 now.
Yeah, and that did get obliterated.
Yeah.
There was a big 3,500 share print in there.
Okay, so it's looking like SLDP is finally starting to move.
NVDE flying. Oh, man, Wiss, you got one. You hooked one here today, Wiss. Great job. NVVE. Looks like this might get halted to the downside if this keeps pulling back here, though. Careful.
Oh, yeah, Bets.
Good morning, Born. Good to see you. Smash up that like, man.
Good morning, Born. Bets heating up, Crow says. It's looking like it's starting to move back to some of these pre-market levels, these pre-market highs. Just hoping
Teva looks like Teva might be breaking out here intraday on Teva. That looks like a pretty good chart here. How's Save doing? We took a look at that earlier. Save flagging in here.
Yeah, still above VWAP. We can start getting some EMA crossings. We're probably looking at 10, maybe. We'll have to wait and see what that does. SPY still trying to get back up to that pre-market high, which was apparently no, it wasn't all-time high. Pre-market high was 484.61. It's got a big green candle right now. Yeah, I point right to 25 back in. I bet it reloads and makes another move.
Yes, this was such a good trade. I wish I was still in this.
SLDP it's slowly moving back up to the high it made at the open, 139. Lots of sell orders up here though. I'm going to set a stop.
Yin breaking out, taking that next leg up. So that China Bull 3X levered ETF moving here to the upside. NVIDIA, this is actually pretty interesting. We talked about NVIDIA being weak here. NVIDIA completely getting back its down move already. Netflix, interestingly enough, we talked about that having earnings here. Netflix tried to do the same thing. Now is moving lower here and actually new lows on the day here on Netflix.
SLDP made a new intraday high.
Apple's rolling over here. SLDP new high right here. You got that right?
Just very, very slow moving, but it's technically moving in a good direction. Based off technicals is what I'm referring to. But I do have a stop out for this. I was starting to get into it down in VWAP because it was looking like a good bull flag formation. So I'm at 136. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens with some of these.
NVVE is one I'm still watching here. We'll see if we make a move towards those highs. Phase, that penny stock, looks like that has some pretty decent action.
So
TKO, from our initial discussion here this morning, holding its gains, might be moving higher. We'll see.
DWAC doing what I was referring to. We got
moving lower. Yeah,
it's moving lower. We got that bear flag, and then couldn't get back above 45. Went lower,
and also used the VWAP as resistance. Could not get above that.
Looks like DWAC's. I'm sorry, not DWAC. EYPT.
Boyle owes me. Yeah, I bet. That's actually a funny comment, Easy Mike. Yeah. If I could ever get back the money that Boyle or UVXY owed me, I'd be a happy man. SGMT getting called here again. That is move. Wow, Tuna. Look at that move on SGMT. That was a great call. If you were adding there, were you adding around that VWAP? Were you adding around that VWAP, Smoke Tuna? Gotta know. Bitcoin might be curling up here.
Bets had a pop. Went up to 405.
Bets. Let's take a look at that. BETS. Yep. Still couldn't pop above yesterday's, what is this, after hours? Yeah.
Yeah, funds falling with DWAC.
Man, SGMT. So Tuna mentioning that this was a swing from yesterday's flush to the lows. So right down here, right? This was the flush. You probably added right in here, right around 12. Oh my God. Great move, Tuna. And was it this MACD histogram? Or were you just buying the weakness in hopes of a bounce?
ENSC is so frustrating. I'm not in it, but it just pops and then drops. It doesn't stay too long above its VWAP. That's frustrating. SLDP is starting to move up even more now. It's making new highs. This one's been pretty good so far. I'm going to raise my stuff. DTSS, it made that pop we mentioned about 25 minutes ago. Still holding these levels, but it's slightly below my VWAP.
RVSN is going.
SGMT looks like it's about ready to make its next move.
This thing spread like crazy.
Which one?
SGMT, yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit spready. 50-cent spread there.
My goodness.
What else? It looks like SLDP. Who mentioned SLDP? Thank you for putting that on my radar. This one's been pretty good off that VWAP.
Voodoo, I'm leaving for Florida on Thursday. Ooh, enjoy Florida. You going to do any golfing while you're down there? I'm jealous if you are. I won't be back trading until the first week of February. The market will be here, and so will we. Thinking of joining the happy hour when we get back. We would love to have you
absolutely.
There. Reach out to me. Reach out. We would absolutely love to have you there.
SLDP. I just keep raising my stop.
Joby getting some more action here today. Joby and Archer charts, ACHR, that is, look identical here today.
I believe that's a relative volume move on those since they
Deep
had a
sea
pop
fishing voodoo. Ooh, that sounds fun. ARQT making a move. Dr. Man, good to see you back. ARQT, you're not kidding. What did you call this? An old girlfriend? 13? Moving higher here.
Because you don't want to get married to these things.
No, definitely not. RVSN, that was the big move here. Crow, you guys, we were all over this one. Crow, nice shout here on its most recent move away from VWAP here on RVSN.
Took my eyes off that one. Let me see where we went with that.
By the way, here he goes. Here's Phase. It stopped here several times on Phase. We'll see if it looks like it's still stopping here.
This was one of those esports sponsorship ones that I was mentioning earlier.
Do we want to trade this? Or it's just no, I don't. Penny stock, Ryan, stop.
I just got stopped.
I see these. I look at this spot. I look at this price action. I'm thinking, boy, this sure is trying to bust this 28 here. Just a couple of thousand shares, maybe get 2-3 pennies here. But it's just like,
it's a good plan, Lynn. I like it. I don't know if you heard. I got stopped out of SLDP. I just kept raising my stops as it went up, so I got some change off that one.
We got 1 cent here on Phase, by the way. Lynn is saying, let DWAC fall, then we'll watch it in the happy hour for news from the primaries. That's our plan. Okay. Like that you have a plan. Like that you're doing that. Save new highs here. Crow, 2 really monster calls here today. Really just outdoing yourself. Save, this one's been great. I can't believe I'm saying that Spirit Airlines has been great. Like, it just feels weird every time I say it, but I know we're talking about the stock.
It's going to have a good Q4, so they say. You know, I'm still waiting for the news of the buyout for DocuSign. I'm really curious to know what they're going to come up with for a price per share. I'm really interested in that because you can look on the daily.
Yeah.
You can look on the daily and you can see how it used to be worth hundreds. And I'm just like, yeah, we're never going to see that price again. And those poor people that bought up there are going to probably end up having to sue.
Jay, you're saying Portnoy is back on Save. Is he actively trading that, or is he talking about his position? I actually don't have the Twitter streets up.
Looks like DWAC might be finding a short-term bottom here.
Portnoy beating Pelosi year to date. Let's go, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah, I think DWAC might try to make a pop-up for $43, but I don't know that it gets through it. Okay, well, here it goes. It's about 42 and creeping up. But,
Kevin was saying your DocuSign buyout price 85 in his opinion. That'd be a big move from where it's at now.
I think it's definitely worth less than 100, so I don't think 85 is out of the question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, you know, yeah, like you said, what's it worth? And I can't see it being worth more than 100. I mean, I had a compelling theory about it in Happy Hour chat that I have to go and look for, but I just want to see what they end up pricing it at. DWAC all the way up to what was that top at 43.14, and then started coming back in. So that was the trade I was talking about, getting up to 43 and then being out. If it gets back up, it goes up further, then maybe it's recovering. But that was the trade I was looking at off this bottoming action when it hit 40.
Save new highs and a little bit of a pullback there. That's normal.
Yep. Oh, wow. I wonder if Archer gets all the way up to its pre-market high of 559. This thing's going to, you know, one day I think it's going to be worth.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one day. The question really is going to be when. And that's why I kind of just grabbed some just to forget about it and have it real small.
Well, I know that there's upcoming catalysts for that company. The fact they keep coming out with these new partnerships with government agencies is really good news. And then they have orders, I believe, for some of their aircraft, but they need to start producing them. And Stellantis is, the one that's going to be producing it for them.
Stellantis, by the way, also named as one of the companies buying from IPWR, which is that Ideal Power I told you about. That's a longer term hold for me that I'm down on. Real quick here, big lots. Gerald, you were mentioning big here. For me, big lots, this really needs to get above 675. We're currently at 664. We're really not far, but if we can take that out, maybe we can move higher here. 8 wouldn't be out of the question. See if we end up getting that.
So this is
be right back.
This looks like a short squeeze.
13.
I'm sorry. Oh,
I said I said I will be right back, but I got to figure out.
As far as big lots goes, I don't know what the news is on this. And the only other thing I can see is that it's got a high short interest with over 5 days of cover. So that would be my assumption on why we're getting movement and how it could go higher if it squeezes. What else is happening out there? DocuSign plus or minus 13, or let's call it $14 March 15th. Okay. DWAP with the bounce. Is it still moving up? Let's take a look. Let me just pull this back up. Yeah, we're getting back up to, okay, we're through 43, and we're testing the 200 EMA on the 5-minute chart right now. Looking like it's going to continue to get some orders piling in here. VWAP, I have it at 45.15. Let's see if that's their current target. SBET, if it can hold, let me take a look at SBET. Yeah, I agree. If we can hold this and maybe get back above VWAP, then we'll probably see it come back up to 225, perhaps.
Which stack?
SBET. We tried to see if it could bounce earlier at the open. Didn't really get too high and above VWAP, and then it came back in. Now it's bouncing close off of the 200 EMA, trying to get back above the 65 EMA on my chart.
RUM looks like this is trying to retake the VWAP here on Rumble.
RVSN is getting one more push, says the Crow. Let's take a look.
That's actually pulling back. See if there's one more push in this here. I've got that spot probably at 389, 390.
So it did push up above that 390 level briefly and came back in. So there's somebody that doesn't want it above $4. But if we can hold above VWAP, then I think bulls will have something otherwise to say.
Looking around here, let me check the Twitter streets and see. I haven't looked at that recently. See if there's anything going on out there.
EYPT really having a hard time getting above 25.
The amount of mock draft content that I'm going to be inundated with before this draft in April is going to be insane.
Bets, BETS, it's starting to spread a bit, and the volume's pretty low, but it's got a pretty decent bull flag formation starting to happen. So might be something there. I'm not sure. It just needs volume. What else? DTSS.
I don't really see anything going on here on Twitter that's worthwhile for our trading. I really don't.
Zim went all the way down to 1291. Now it's gone all the way back up to
1350.
About where the pre-market levels were. So, under 12, this thing seems to be getting a lot of buyers. I'm sorry, under 13, it seems to be getting a lot of buyers.
Order flow trader asking about Sinclair. That is SBGI. SBGI is Sinclair Broadcasting Group. That's holding above 16 here. Yeah, that's the one for 1,000 reverse split. I mean,
how many offerings did they have?
I mean, is that called the Mullen effect? I mean, that's just unbelievable.
Now I'm curious. I have to see.
This is unbelievable.
Well, it says they
You
have
got it,
no
order flow.
secondary offerings.
No problem. Another decent day here for TGTX. SRTS, what's going on here? Haven't looked at that one yet here today. Census Healthcare. Actually, this maybe a breakout here, 340.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that. Certainly looks like it could. Don't know how high it's going to go. Don't have any levels.
On what? SRTS?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gone up to a daily EMA.
Tesla curling back up. Let's watch that one. See if Tesla can actually reclaim this VWAP. That would be something.
So if our SRTS can somehow trade up above $4, there's some gap fill potential in that.
Jay mentioning DraftKings here, DKNG, Donkey Kong for my homies. DKNG, all the dips getting bought probably 40 before the Super Bowl. I could totally see that. I mean, it's worth noting we're currently at 38.76, so you really only have about a point and a quarter there of movement, but I could probably see that here on DraftKings.
Yeah, we just had somebody talking about picking up, unless this is the same gentleman. I don't know. No, we just had a gentleman talking about picking up Penn for a Super Bowl play because right after the Super Bowl, both Penn and DraftKings have their earnings, and there's a bit of seasonality with those stocks. They tend to sell off shortly before the Super Bowl or just as it ends. Just something to keep in mind with those stocks. Look at the charts. Go back to the left. You'll see what we're talking about. Not a bad idea. It's worked before apparently, but you got to be careful about the timing on getting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smoke Tuna mentioning ENSC could go, really needs to snap this high area here, or this resistance area that we talked about earlier. Got this at what, 165-ish? 165 looks to be that spot it's got to take out.
SBET still trying to get back above VWAP. It's slowly getting up there, but still having some trouble getting through some of these EMAs.
That chart looks a bit rough for me.
Yeah.
How's NVVE doing? Okay, so after that pop, really hasn't done much. Wiss, hope you paid yourself on that pop. That was a sick move.
I'm going to go back and look and see where some of these other ones are at. Like, what's Save doing? Save got up to 934 and then took a big candle down to VWAP. This could be getting ready to make another push, though. We'll see what happens there. Zim trying to make
phase is still trying 30 here. That's the penny stock for you guys.
Easy Mike, that's not a bad idea. Selling Domino's and Wing, like all those those sports food. We'll call it sports food. We'll call it sports food plays. All those sports food plays. So bar bar food, maybe Buffalo Wild Wings. Well, wait, which one? Or Dave & Buster's? I'm trying to think of the ones that are publicly traded.
Dave & Buster's is the one where you play video games. Buffalo Wild Wings, wasn't that publicly traded? Wingstop is in there?
I think so.
Pretty sure. B-dubs, right? I mean,
I want to say it is. I know Dave & Buster's, but Dave & Buster's has, they're a sports bar. They have video games. They have bowling. They have pool.
BWLD is going to be your ticker. BWLD. Oh, but it did get bought out? Dave & Buster's play. This might have been bought out. Yeah, BWLD, not a ticker anymore.
Okay.
It hasn't been for a while. That just goes to show you how much I play those stocks.
DWAC with another rejection at 45. So that's twice now we've seen DWAC get rejected at 45 after making two visits from after falling through it this morning. And
guess what? Looks like it's getting hit at its VWAP here again, right? VWAP is absolutely resistance.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it.
Absolutely. Too. RVSN pushing to new highs here. RVSN above 4.
Did it
had size there at 410, by the way, Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings was bought by Eric. That's what I thought, E2. So I couldn't find it.
Still waiting for SBET.
CYN, another penny stock here, looking maybe like that comes back to the VWAP. Still looking around here, folks. Wish we had something better than Phase to take a look at.
Yeah, there's a bunch that are just kind of
hasn't gone. DWAC's breaking down. RVSN went.
I'm just wondering if some of these traders are just moving into some of the bigger names since they're starting to report now. I mean, Verizon had a pretty good report, and they're up 5%. Finally,
market really flat. It's really not doing anything. I've got the Russell up 0.5% and the IWM up 0.5%. SPY up, 0.1%. Dow's down 0.1%. I mean, we got a pretty flat market here right now. Definitely not going to force anything at this point.
Nope. Just watch and see what develops.
Yep.
I only have my one trade in SBET right now that I'm just waiting to see if it'll work. Other than that, I haven't traded anything else in the past 10, 20 minutes.
RSA saying, any news on home builders? Did we get any?
Yes, we got
home builder news this morning.
DHI.
Oh, that's right. We got DHI this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that yesterday. Yep. Goldfish Memory, DHI selling off here. That's likely moving a lot of those stocks. RSA.
I don't think their earnings were. I took a gander at them this morning. I don't think their earnings were particularly good, and they didn't. I didn't think they had a good number of things to say. They did give a dividend. Yes, their revenues are probably based on the estimates. It looks like they're on the unfavorable end. Like they wanted, analysts wanted to see a higher guide than that.
Sorry to interrupt. SPY pulling here.
We're getting some news.
That's what I'm looking for. Richmond Manufacturing Index just hit. Oh, maybe not. No, that wasn't just there. I don't think that was it.
Don't know if it's the Red Book. That was earlier this morning around 9.
Looking at some other traders, they're asking what just happened on SPY. I don't see anything. Let me see it. Let me look around here.
Maybe we're finally seeing the profit taking that we've been talking so long about. I mean, the SPY is still pretty extended. We had a huge week last week. Maybe we're just cooling off before the next move up. Maybe Houthis. Well, I don't think that problem's solved, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, but I haven't seen anything. I don't want to speculate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything though. Whole market pulled there. It wasn't just the SPY; it was the Nasdaq too. The Dow actually hung in better than anything else.
Does Twitter say anything?
That's what I'm looking for. Twitter can. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Unless you follow the right people, and in some cases I do. Twitter sometimes it can be difficult to find. I haven't seen it yet though, and I didn't have it live. Let's see.
So
that's where I was seeing. I was seeing other traders on Twitter saying, "What just happened on the SPY?"
I'm wondering if yen had a big move up when the SPY had a big move down. Maybe there's some more movement into Chinese stocks.
VIX did nothing. Yeah, I haven't seen anything.
There's something happening somewhere. We'll find it.
Yeah, we will find it.
Yeah, easy, Micah. You're right. The Richmond Fed and Red Book really don't move the needle this much.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's those.
Look at Phase. We talked about this 28, looking to break 29. This thing's 35 cents now. Crow saying phase absolutely flying. These penny stocks, I wish I could get more excited about this.
Looking to see if there's any additional Chinese news. The only other thing I could think of is maybe a rotation out of some of these U.S. markets and into China, since that's been pretty
10 years up. 10, but it's not up big. It's 4.142. It's not as if it, really like spiked or anything.
I'll just wait for some news to come across the wire. I'm not going to glue myself when there's some trading to be done.
Good advice there. I'll let you know if I find anything.
DWAC looks like it's going to try to make another go at 45. It's there right now.
Okay, so DWAC, we talked a lot about this, really using the VWAP as resistance. Let's see if that story changes right here. We are pretty much right at the VWAP on DWAC. If we take this up, the other thing that you can see here, just from looking at the volume, one of the things I said earlier is we really want to see this change from selling volume to buying volume. Well, maybe we're starting to see the start of that. The selling volume has definitely abated. More of these candles turning to buying volume. We'll see if that actually picks up. Here we are at VWAP on DWAC.
Oh, it's through mine now. It burst through 45. Next level I have is 46.75. Just going through the rotation of things that we've been talking about and things have been moving. We got SAVE that's under $9 now. SRTS.
Oh, SAVE, that was actually a nice move back to the VWAP though on SAVE.
SRTS, it had a nice pop about 5 minutes ago, and now it's trying to do it again. Bets.
I'm going to take some SAVE here. I'm going to give this a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's see if we can push above 9 here.
Bitcoin moved up above 39,000, so that one's got a bit of recovery happening.
And actually, that intraday chart looks like 40K might be possible. It keeps moving here. ENSC not giving up.
Nope, it's certainly not. 165. That's the level it's got to close above. It's already tested it once.
DWAC is moving here now through the VWAP. SAVE coming in a little bit. Let's see what happens here. DWAC above the VWAP.
All right.
SAVE coming in.
Yeah, DWAC up to the 46.75 level, bursting through 47. Looks like it's going to hit this 65 EMA right here at 47.39. It's getting rejected. Next level I have after this 46.75 is $50.
Let's take a look here at DWAC. Let's let SAVE do its thing.
We also, this intraday pattern that DWAC had is a bit of an inverse head and shoulders too. So that was a pretty good setup.
DWAC stopping here. SAVE, man. I am the curse. I am the curse here today. Anything I buy just keeps moving over. SAVE, we move. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close this one, I'm afraid. God bless it. Not a good day trading day for me here today. 0 for 2. The swing account actually looks great, thankfully. God, I can't wait to move back to this. Horrible buy for me on SAVE there. Sorry about that. Not good today. 2 days in a row, just not good entry at all.
SLDP. If the volume comes in here, this would be a good time for it. It could make another go for its high of 143. A lot of things going sideways. A lot of things going sideways right now.
We had that, it's interesting. We had that, like the first move right out of the open, and then it really just kind of stopped.
Yeah. We were talking about how we could see some selling in the broader market. It hasn't really materialized yet, but it's not a green day. I mean, they got a red candle, and we're pretty much up near flat. There could be some. I mean, I'm gonna have to keep going back to these China stocks because I think there could be some rotation. I think we are getting some pullback in yen right now, though. Let me take a look, because that had a big move this morning. So we're just going sideways in yen.
Market's still moving lower here.
Is it moving lower fast or just kind of like
it's not fast at all. It's just on the lows here. It's like we had that nice little move down, little bit of a bounce, and now it kind of looks like we're returning to the lows.
Yeah, volume seems to be just leaving the market a little bit early. RVSN starting to get some movement here. It's got a high of 415. Trying to retake that. Still above VWAP, so as long as that holds it above there, it's still got a good chance.
Yeah, Voodoo saying, Ryan, quick plays are working. Scalps for a 0.5 point, 1 point move. Range is tight today on most. Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm actually seeing that. I just didn't do a good job myself. It's okay, though.
Looks like funds recovering. It's above VWAP now, PHUN. DWAC. What a good recovery that had off of about 40 area.
Yeah, and actually the story's changed here now, right? So now we're above. Maybe we can move higher here on DWAC.
No, it's probably going to 50. When it gets to 50, I'd expect there to be some pullback then, but it might be. I think the lows of the day could possibly be in. I don't know how the rest of the day is going to look, but
yeah, this
is a good reversal here that we had this morning. We're almost there, about $1. It was $1.50 away a moment ago. Bets looks not looking great. It's constantly red candles for the past 25 minutes.
Nvidia might be trying to go higher here. That would
you don't say.
With it. Yeah, I mean, stop me if you've heard that story before.
Right. I still think what I said yesterday, Javier, might be the case. 650 is the best guess I have right now, because I don't know how high this is going to go, but on a technical level, that's the top of a trend line for me. So 650 would be my target.
Market Sniper says it's a shocker that Nvidia is moving higher.
Same stuff, different day. What happened here with PYXS? It looked like it got a pop and then it just stopped moving.
It grinded higher here. Did ENSC ever break out? Nope, still holding around there. Man, save doing right back. Oh God, the trading has just been so bad. I need to take a break on this day trading. I have not done well at all week. All week I've struggled.
I think it's worth pointing out that some of these really good moves happen later in the day. I mean, just look what happened with DWAC yesterday. That was later in the day, and it was the biggest move of all. Some of these things, they just go sideways or just kind of hang out in their lows of the day for a while, and then, hey, guess what? It's time to trade. Just takes off. Yeah, so many things they just don't have any volume right now. So there's no real move in them. And if they do move, it's not going to happen for a while. And if it does, it's going to happen really, really quick. If we go much lower in SBET, I'm just going to have to get out of that one.
Tuna's telling me to buy SBET. You know what?
Okay. What are we
Done.
seeing here with the with? Okay, you know what? Now that I zoom in a bit, I see what he's talking about.
We've been watching this one from the morning here, and he's saying it's setting up. One of the things, the reason that I took this here, we're going to try something else because both of my entries have been poorly timed. They've been when the stocks are literally at the high end of the range and about to get weaker. So this appears to be different. Let's try it different and see if we get different results, right? We're not going to try the same thing over and over again. We're going to try this. Ryan is home. Where's my baby kitty? Shelly, you show up once in a blue moon. There is no way the cat is going to make it for that. Ryan, my friends are addicted to Tarkov. I understand. I'm sorry that this is happening to you, but I understand exactly why.
Yeah, DWAC, if it can hold 47, it's looking pretty good. I want to see what the next 10 minutes will give us. If it can hold this 47 level, we might get 50 if it does.
My God, look, ENSC, folks, are we going to do it?
I was just going to say, ENSC is finally making a 165 touch again.
And I got 170. I got size there.
Yep. Just need somebody to come in and buy it all
here
up.
It is.
Here we
there
go.
it is. There it goes.
180 is the pre-market high. And now it's starting to pull. But, 165 might provide support. So
Ryan says, I tried to get my friends to buy Tarkov. Not quite done, but still working on it. If you ever need a group, we got one. Let me know.
Yeah, if you were in ENSC and you were patient, good job. I wasn't patient.
Yeah, where is Tiny Pie? Where is Tiny Pie? We miss Tiny Pie here.
SLDP looks like it's starting to make another move to take out the highs. Oh, it's picking up. A lot of sell orders between here and 150. Fun still moving up. Fun could actually probably get to 50 cents here when in about 10 or 15 minutes.
After seeing what FaZe did, I think that could easily happen. Golden Cross, awesome name there. Colin Rumble here did move through its VWAP. This is what we've been waiting for here on Rumble. See if we get going here. We're going to have to take out pre-market highs and that high print on that opening candle here, 620. And I have the actual pre-market highs here, 686 on Rum. This one looks interesting. See if this can keep going.
Curious if Save retakes 9. If it does, then I think it's going to try for another run at the highs. I'm going to take another look at Rum. Are we getting some good action in Rum? Yeah, we are getting some good action in Rum.
Yeah, we are. And I like that it's right here at the VWAP.
Seems to me that somewhere between 585 and 6 is a level where they're going to, okay, so there it is, 587. So there's probably a level somewhere in there where there's a bunch of size, somebody who doesn't want it to go any higher, and it's probably going to get taken out. So that's the target right there. 587 would be the level to take out, it looks like.
Looks like this is coming back in here a little bit. I've got the VWAP at 64. We're right there. We're right there. American Trader saying they will push Rum over 10 so they hit dilution requirements.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, 10 from here would be a double, so that would be sweet.
ENSC still holding 165. That's a good sign. It's a good sign it could go higher. Levels I have for that after this 165 is 170. We already broke that. After that, 175, then 180. Pretty much increments of 5 all the way up.
Rum still coming in here a little bit. See where this stops.
Oh, there's a big sell order that just came in with Rum at 565.
Yep. And that's right here around VWAP, which I find interesting. Folks, got about 20 minutes left here. No Benzinga Live, but we will have Powerball with Luke. Be sure to check out my main man, Luke, on Powerball a little bit later here today. We also have Cannabis Insiders. So for those of you that are big on the cannabis industry, don't miss Cannabis Insider here today. Same with Luke on Powerball. One of my favorite. Luke's one of my favorite people.
S-Bet. It looks like we're probably getting that move now.
Are really so all Tuna had to do was tell me to buy it.
I mean, that's a good buy signal.
You know what? You know what? Whatever the signal is, we'll take it. We'll take it here. We'll keep looking for some of those signals. What time is Powerball? Gosh, I always forget that. Let me find that out for you. I don't want to give you the wrong time because then you'll show up at the wrong time and be like, Ryan, you're a jerk. We don't want to do that.
Wow, RVSN ripping.
I'll get that for you, though. RVSN ripping, you say, huh?
New highs, 425.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That was a really good one.
Save is still hanging out just under 9.
Don't take the signals if there aren't enough volume. God, Shelly, if we could get you to repeat that every day, maybe I'd doing some better stuff here. Definitely all about the volume. Market Sniper, nice trade on RVSN. You've been patient on that one all morning.
Write a post-it and put it on your screen.
Yeah, I used to do that, actually. I used to have Post-its, and what that turned into is Post-its everywhere. And then I kind of went through this phase where it's like, I want to minimize things and clean things up, and I never went back to the Post-it notes.
Kind of makes your whole desk look like it's got scales.
I gave you my super secret chicken wing recipe. Much love, Ryan. Born. So first of all, I can agree that his recipe for chicken wings is outstanding. I still have that. I still use it. I actually haven't done chicken wings in a little bit, Born. But I have been using ever since you sent that to me. I've been using that. So I really appreciate that.
Just waiting for S-Bet to start getting that volume. It's making some moves, but it's very, very slow moving.
What do you expect of Visa? So this is an interesting question. First of all, Visa chart looks absolutely awesome, right? This chart from left to right just looks great. Just keeps moving up here. The one thing that we've been talking about recently is how many people are actually loading up on their credit card and can't pay. Now, I still got to think Visa net positive, right? I mean, I don't have it for earnings, but definitely a strong looking chart.
If anything, they're definitely worth paying attention to what they say in their conference call or on their earnings, because to your point about the debt, there's record debt among Americans with credit cards, and now we're also having that buy now, pay later. What do we call it? That product that PayPal and also Visa and MasterCard and Shopify, they all have something to that effect as well. I think there's a problem with those.
Love this context here. Lynn saying Kramer loves Visa. Be careful there. Discover recently adjusted for losses as well. So there you go. Yeah, defaults are up, but can V manage it into a profit? See, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's really the $64,000 question, Quantum. Is the fact that defaults are up, helpful for it? I don't know what the answer is there. Boy, more things selling off your market, taking the next leg lower. Some stocks going with it.
Yeah, let's take a look here at this earnings report from DFS, which is Discover, like he was mentioning. Provision for credit losses was up almost
Provisions
double.
For credit losses. That's what I have to remember to say.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying to watch with these bank earnings, with the regional bank earnings, and also with these credit card companies. If they're raising their credit losses, or their provision for credit losses, they're anticipating that a lot of people are going to default.
Indeed.
And they've discovered just almost doubling it year over year. That's concerning. But
and the VVE back to the VWAP.
They still managed to what were their sales? Their EPS beat. I'm sorry, they missed by 93 cents. I'm just trying to look for their sales. Anything else moving? ULA short. Yeah, good job, Lynn. Well, I'll pull that up later.
Looking around here.
Looks like Fun is trying to make a move here. 45 cents is where they're trying to get past, looks like. So with that in mind, where's DWAC? DWAC is still above 45 and, trading up and beneath and above it, but still above it.
And still spread here. DWAC doing a good job holding above the VWAP.
Yeah. Could make its next move. I still think 50 is on the table for DWAC today. SBET. Just still moving slowly. When does this candle close? Next couple minutes. Looks like Save is starting to break down further. Might anyway. Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot. Is ENSC moving again? Or let me take a look here and see what he's saying.
It's moving back towards the VWAP. It popped. It didn't continue running, but it's not breaking down yet. ENSC.
Okay. Yeah, things are just moving really slowly.
Yeah, it get slowed down. But 13, I'm going to reiterate one of the points that you said earlier that we've been talking about a number of days here. You'll get these afternoon moves, right? You'll go through a lull, eat your lunch, take care of your errands, and then come back. Power hour has been pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, it has. And looking at Bitcoin, we're still trying to. I mean, it had a pop several minutes ago up to 39 and almost 39 and a half. Still above 39. Could be seeing the recovery here in Bitcoin. It's going to have some trouble getting above 39 and a half, though. There's some that's a resistance level. Yeah, sorry we don't have as much excitement for you today as we did yesterday. Things were just going wild yesterday, and now everything's kind of falling asleep.
You know what's funny about that 13 is that it didn't look that way in the pre-market, and then it ended up being a wild day. Today it looked like the opposite. It looked like we had a number of things to go after in the pre-market, but when the regular session opened, a lot of it dried up.
Yeah, I'm starting to want to take a look at some of the news that we had this morning and see if there's anything that may have cooled the market off, or if it's just more of the rotation that we've been talking about. I don't have an angle on what's moving things down this morning. The only thing I can think of is that China stocks are just getting more attractive because there's potential stimulus happening.
They're talking about that more and more. DWAC move probably not done for the day. Rumble, this actually looks like this is trying to gear and go on Rumble. ENSC still kind of all over the place.
Watch, as soon as we end this stream, the market's just going to start.
I know. I was going to say, you know what's going to happen is that we're going to end this, and it's like all of the plays that we've been looking at. But you know what, folks? Get them on your watch list. We don't have to be live for you folks to make money. We'll do what we can to kind of break down the market in the morning. And if we give you some plays, you keep them on the watch list, maybe they'll be in play later on in the day. Airlines selling off after a gap on earnings is like clockwork. Jay, you expected that, huh? Let's take a look at some of those airlines. I know Lynn and Randy shorten United Airlines. Look at this. That was a great move. Man, this thing popped up to 42. Actually, a little bit above 42. Nice short there. Lynn and Randy, just a great job. I'd have been all over that one.
Bonds and dollar. Yeah, I could see that. I'll take a look at that as well. I think, what are we still, is the 10-year still above, what was it at? I know it's above 4, but what 4 and what would we get up to?
This is interesting, Nick. Nick saying here, Ryan, when I originally looked up UFC ticker TKO came up, I didn't read the whole business profile. WWE is also a part of the on-demand platform that we covered earlier. TKO jumps every fight night and then comes back down. Nick, really interesting, noticing a pattern here. Maybe this is tradable. Yeah, well, keep an eye on that one.
That's interesting. So I think that was a pretty good call on the 10-year note not getting higher than 4.3. We haven't gotten there yet, but we did get to about 4.2 and we started coming in. I don't know. I think maybe
question for you. Alexa, welcome back. Long time no see. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you continue going low on the golf course. Alexa asking 13, is triple M 3M a buy at the 200 day?
I've wanted to get this since last year, late last year, when it was lower and I missed my opportunity. I am going to try to get into this again. So I think it's a good long-term prospect. Now, if you're looking for a trade, I can't really speak on that, but this would be something that I'd get into for at least a year. It's a good company, pays a great dividend. It's so integrated in just American industry that I don't ever see it going away. But
yeah,
I wouldn't buy this. This is not something I would trade. This is something I would hold for a long time.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the reasons why I'm more interested in it too. I wouldn't want to actively trade this as well. I'd rather buy and hold this. The interesting new note here about 3M. We're moving down here today. They reported earnings that were better than expected, but they issued guidance that was below estimates. So what I'd like to see here on 3M is I'd love to see this kind of settle out after that price action post earnings kind of sorts itself out. And the other thing here for a potential long trade, I mean, I know we're a little bit a ways away from this. Currently at 96.90. You got this low here that's right around 85.90. Let's just call it 86 to make this easy. You got a low here of about 86. I mean, as long as that holds, I think your bottoming process that it looks like this is kind of going into is still good. I would say if we break this low, that's trouble. So the way I would trade this in any type of long-term scenario is a break against the low, traded against the actual low here on the daily chart. Really been in a downtrend since June of 2021.
Beach Bum is right. This thing did have a lot of lawsuits, and one of the reasons why it started moving up late last year is because I believe one of those lawsuits was winding up. Getting near its end. Let me see if I can pull the news up. But yes, I'm aware that they've been hit with some lawsuits. Okay, so yeah, the earplug lawsuit settlement. I can see that they've started paying out $6 billion. So that might already be priced in. I don't know what if there's another lawsuit that you're referring to that might pull this further. But I think that was the big one. Was the earplugs. Let's take a look at some of these stocks again. By the way, yeah, if you have any questions about some of these things, I'd be happy to give you my point of view on them. But to your point, Beach Bum Trading, yes, that is a headwind, and I think that may already be priced into the price of 3M.
You're welcome, Alexa. Jay saying triple M DDD to Dennis Dick earlier talked about this in pre-market. So okay. I was actually getting ready for my day. I missed pre-market prep. Can you summarize what he said, Jay, or can anyone that also watched pre-market prep?
ENSC is ripping now.
Okay, let me go back here. ENSC, that what a miss that was for me. This is the one that's going to bother me later on today when I'm watching Oak Island tonight. We had this one pegged. We had this plan. We got stopped out. I raised my stop. And that was my downfall. Damn it. That's okay.
NVVE.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Okay. NVVE trying to get back to 544 and go higher. That was a big pull on this one. I don't know. As long as it can hold above VWAP, then it has potential to go higher. We get some crossings here too. This one looks all right. Just need to hold that volume.
Okay. Are you guys ready for a Tuesday surprise? 13, I need you to say yes. I'm just going to be honest with you here.
Jay Rice says that GDD said that it would be 200 without the lawsuit.
Okay, so there you go. So that lawsuit depressing it by over 50%. Yes, Market Sniper, you're ready. Who's ready for a Tuesday surprise here?
Sure, 13, I am.
Okay, thank you. I like surprises, says Rob. Okay. Okay. So here it is. Here is your surprise. Let me go back. Okay. Rico asked politely to stick around. So for really quick, I have to address this. I'm sorry. Bernhard, Oak Island. I used to live in Nova Scotia. Look, dude, I can't tell you how badly I want to go to that island just to kind of like see everything in person. I absolutely love that show. I love that story. I'm a little kid. I don't know what to tell you. I absolutely love it. But anyway, here we go. We have no all access today. We have no Benzinga Live today. Someone asked earlier when Powerball is happening. That's Powerball with Luke. That happens at noon. Our show's scheduled to end at 11. My schedule allows for me to stick around today. So I think I'm going to stick around today. 13, I am going to send you the invitation to stick around here till noon Eastern.
I will accept that invitation because I don't have really anything else to do except trade this market.
Let's go. So we talked about this being a little bit slower. We talked about maybe as soon as we get off the air here, things are going to go crazy. We always get off at 11. Today, we are going to stretch that out to noon. You guys asked for it. You got it. That's what we're going to do. So 13, I appreciate you sticking around. I know this was kind of a last minute thing here. If you need to jet for any reason at all, do not feel bad. I will hold the fort down, but I'd love to have you here through noon.
Yeah, I don't have anything going on for the next hour. Let's do this. Let's do this. So NVVE, this was the 40 for 1 reverse split from yesterday.
Which one? I'm sorry.
NVVE.
Yes, I believe that was the reverse split.
Okay.
It's Tuesday, Jay Summers, not Thursday. I love the reaction here, by the way. You guys really making me feel real good here this morning. So I absolutely love that. Okay. Overtime. I like it. I like overtime. All right. So this is what we're going to do. 13, what stock was it that you were just trying to talk about here?
It was, I was just looking at NVVE because that's
VVE.
It was brought up in the chat. It's starting to make some pretty good moves back above VWAP. This one had the 40 for 1 reverse split yesterday. These reverse splits, we've talked about this for a while. You know, these big reverse split companies that make their float super low, they can just more easily get pushed around. Seems that's what we're getting here with NVVE, but the volume is a little bit less than would be desired. I want to see some more volume in this thing. I'll
tell you what, we did see that volume push earlier. That actually ended up in a halt. So if we get volume again, don't take that off the table. We might get halted again. Can't even believe this, but I mean, I guess I can believe this. I should. Look at SBET. Smoke Tuna says, Ryan, you're 0 for 2 today. This is what you need to do. Buy SBET. I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot because the other way hasn't been working. Sure enough, we're up here. Okay, with the extended hour here, I am going to run to the washroom real quick, 13. I will be right back.
Sounds good. What do you guys got for me that I can take a look at right now? Because I'm just kind of focusing on SBET and seeing when I should get out of this. I have one sell order set for 220. This is my level. It's just below one of my levels. What else do we got here, guys? SPY consolidating a bit. Let's take a look at SPY. Still consolidating after that move down that we had. Let me take a look at a shorter time frame. UAL bounce. What was the thought on the short here? Is because they have the max 9s. They're one of the companies that have the max 9s, and they have to kind of ground those while there's an investigation going. Is that what the short idea was, or was it just off earnings? Let's see, S&P. I'm sorry, SPY. This is pulling back. Yeah, we've fallen down a bit here out through the consolidation we made in pre-market, and we're trying to get back above that.
I'm
Don't
absolutely
know what the
stoked
news
that we're
is.
doing this, by the way. I'm back and I'm
Oh, this will be
stoked, and
fun.
I couldn't be happier right now. So
Smoke Tuna saying NXTP. Taking a look at that now.
let's do it.
Next play. This is another one of these um, stocks that do esports. Is that what I'm seeing here?
Here, let me actually pull that up in Pro. I can take a look at for you. Give me one sec here. I thought I just saw that on the scanner. Didn't though. NXTP.
Hardware and
Next
software products.
Play Technologies. Next Play Technologies building a technology solution. It is building a technology solutions company offering games, in-game advertising, digital asset products and services, connected TV, and travel booking services to consumers and corporations within a growing digital ecosystem. So it looks like it is games here, but more than just games. 13.
Yeah, this company has a lot of cash. If that figure is correct, they have almost 30 billion in cash. That's amazing. Something's weird about. No, you know what?
I have cash here at 2.56 million.
You know what's weird? I'm getting some mixed data here. Let me see if I can fix that. I think I was looking. I have NXTP in my.
Oh yeah,
my
it just got disconnected. I got you. Sorry about that.
But it was giving me some. It looks like it's giving me Apple.
Yeah.
Like, wow,
so
no wonder it was 30 billion in cash.
I was going to say, so I can explain what happens here, and this is actually something that I'm currently working on tracking down. When there's no active price quote,
Gotcha.
in order for the chart to not crash, it defaults to a stock that they know there's a price quote for. It's always going to be Apple, right? Apple's always going to trade, and it's always going to trade on volume. So that's why that's happening. It is a little bit of a snafu. Normally, you can fix that by flipping back and forth.
Yeah, it did, and I wish. Not. Yeah, I wish you could set which default stock it goes to instead of Apple.
Ooh.
Oh, look, the save broke 9. Is that a good idea? Do you like that idea, Ryan?
I don't, because I always use Apple as that default stock. I shouldn't say I don't like it as a good idea. That was rude, and I'm sorry. I wouldn't. Let's put it this way: I wouldn't utilize it because the stock that I would want it to default to is Apple. That is always going to be one of the longest hold that I have, bellwether that I measure things against. That's always going to be the stock that I want to be on the default.
I would want SPY. I'm always all over SPY. That's my only thing. But no, Apple is one of those big magnificent sevens that kind of dictates the market a bit. That Microsoft, and for some reason, I don't know why we're still entertaining the idea of this price of Nvidia, but it is what it is, and 650 looks like it's the target.
Hey, look at Zim.
What did Zim do?
It rebounded and is moving higher here, kind of like what we said. We'll see if it actually. So right here is a resistance area, by the way, on Zim. Literally right where we're at. I've got a current price of 1357. That looks to be a resistance area in here. Next spot that I have here, 1430 something. We'll see if we can get back up there.
Nope, we just broke through the highs of yesterday. I think that's what you're referring to.
Okay, that's a good sign. Good start, right?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Hey, so far the extended hour is working out great.
I was going to say, hey, look, we're already getting more stuff here. This is great.
Oh, look at Zim go. Whee. It's up to 1366. What is driving this up so quickly all of a sudden? I want to see if there's any news. Maybe it's just people saying, let's take a look at shipping rates and see what that's all about. They go to Drury and they see that everything's just taken off over the past few weeks. God, were we up over... I don't even know what the math
guys. RVSN.
RVSN?
504. It's going to halt here. This is going to halt here. They dropped it out. They're not holding it up there. Wow, RVSN. Great call, chat. You guys are out here looking out for the group. It's just...
Jeez, what a move. What a move. Great job if anybody caught that.
This was awesome. A good one. We had this one flagged too from the beginning here.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones. It's just low float gets pushed around.
Yep, absolutely.
DWAC fell beneath 47 and it came down to under 45. Now it's back up, trying to retake 47 again. This looks like it could be setting up for a pretty good move.
Which one?
DWAC.
DWAC? RVSN, by the way, pulling off that 405 high. Interesting that it didn't halt there. They couldn't hold it up here. Here is DWAC. You're right, kind of above the VWAP here. Let's see if we actually get more of a push here. One thing that we're going to take a look at here is going to be the volume. Again, remember, when there is the selling volume, we don't really seem to move. When it turns to buying volumes, when we get that movement.
Look at this chart in SLDP. This one was mentioned by the chat earlier, solid power. This one looks like it's going to be one of the next ones to make a move.
Hold up the warrant here. Here's SLDP. See, here's my issue on SLDP. Great setup here. And in a better market, this is probably one that I take. This might even be one that I front run for a high a daybreak. But we haven't been seeing those high a daybreaks work. Look how this stock has pulled back towards, or maybe even tagging the VWAP and then going higher. That's how I want to trade SLDP. Feel like I don't have the timing here, right? We talked about me buying things maybe when they're at their strongest instead of having better timing. We want to start here. AAOI being mentioned.
It's a good chart, just, the volume.
Sure is. Ooh, AAOI. What I really like about this daily chart, we get over that right here. I've got the 50-day moving average at 1723. Currently have a 1710 price. AAOI. We get above that, maybe 1930 as your next spot.
This one, for me, it's trying to push above VWAP. 1863, the high of the day. I'm not sure about this one. I think this one looks like it could go lower.
AAOI?
Yeah. I'm not sure about this one.
DWAC continuing to move higher here?
And if it does go higher, you might get up to about over 18 before it comes in.
Okay, this might be my favorite comment of the week. Voodoo, quote, Lynn, Kramer's probably been drinking heavily again. He usually comes up with this half-baked stuff when he's laying on the kitchen floor staring at the ceiling.
Well, some people's ideas do come from the bottom of a bottle.
Oh, we out here.
OTLK. I'll take a look at that one. Okay, this one's moving. Penny stock.
Yeah, that one.
OTLK.
Zim really getting rolling here.
Private placement to advance their drug study, it looks like. FDA agreement under special protocol assessment. I'm not sure what that's all entailed, but it's looking like great news. I don't know where this is going to go. 52.5 cents is the high of the pre-market. Looks like 45 is a level. Yeah, I don't have too much insight on OTLK, but 172 million placement isn't bad at all. Hi, Angela, or Angelina. I apologize.
Hello.
Rum tagging 6.
Bring rum up here. Still looking at this DWAC. DWAC right at where it stopped before the last time it curled. Actually, this rum looks really good. 605 has a little bit of size there on rum. DWAC here actually looking pretty good right at this spot. This is actually where we stopped last time on DWAC. See if we can actually get above this here. I've got this at just about 48. That's $1 above where we're at now.
And if you don't like DWAC, Fund's got a nice looking setup too. If you're into the penny stock trade.
DWAC stopped there. See if that's got the strength to move above.
Yeah, it looks like you got some buyers trying to keep it above 46 and 75, and others that are trying to push it down beneath the 65 EMA. Well, still waiting for SBET to, finish that move it was making. It kind of got slapped down when it got up to 96 or 196. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, look at Zim go. Woohoo!
So I just watched a video of 3 gentlemen that tried to play pond hockey on the National Mall in DC when it froze over, and it looks like they landed a security helicopter out there and scared them away. That's actually kind of a funny video. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there.
No worries. I'm just gonna start shaving a bit of Zim here. Yeah, this is the
Rico saying just DWAC from 42 to 49 all day.
That's awesome.
I mean, if you can scalp the same stock back and forth, man, you're really making it easy on yourself.
But this was the reason why I wanted to hold on to Zim. It does things like this, and the whole shipping rate story is not over by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion.
And that's why we swung it.
Looks like getting to 14 will be a good smackdown spot. So I'll just put a little bit to get out of there.
Oh, wait a sec here.
What you got?
Let me make sure, because I'm seeing something. I just want to make sure that this is correct.
There goes OTLK. Good call, Smoke Tuna.
Oh, that's
What are you looking at there, Ryan?
The Houthis rejecting a ceasefire, which would move Zim up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to confirm this here.
Well, let me see.
Yeah, I'm trying to confirm this here. Let me see if I can grab that off of.
I'm waiting for the news to come out of what's going on with the south of Africa and the ports in that region. If we go to, let me see here. If I go to Vessel Finder, I bet I could see if that's getting really congested.
I never even used Vessel Finder.
Yeah, Vessel Finder is a great tool for finding lots of ships.
Yeah.
Of
almost every kind. Ripping. DWAC looking like it's still kind of holding this area. We'll see if it actually ends up breaking out here on DWAC. Might be trying.
Yeah, Zim went to 14. Let's see here.
Mesa maybe curling off the bottom here. RVSN, are we setting up for another leg here on RVSN? Or are we going to break back down the view? This feels like a chase here for me, but we've seen this pattern a few times.
Oh, Mesa Air Group. Okay. Yeah, if we get this movement up, 115 is the level on the upside that I have, and then 125 would be next. But you know, it's moving slow. I don't know if I'm interested in trading that today. But thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that, Smoke Tuna. E2. Yes, I believe that's the whole thought here is that if there is a ceasefire, then it should have an effect on lowering shipping rates, since the whole problem with the Red Sea and the Suez Canal is that they're having to go around because of the Houthi rebel attacks, and it's causing shipping rates to increase. So yes, a ceasefire should have a negative effect on Zim.
Lockheed Martin moving down here, by the way, a little bit of a spike down here on Lockheed Martin. I see the conference call in progress.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like the conference call is going on right now.
I must have said something they didn't like.
Yeah, it must have been.
Okay, well, they did guide their diluted EPS lower than the estimate. That could have an effect, but I don't. Let me look at the chart. I need to see what they were doing at the open. So they pretty much sank out of the open, rebounded, and they have gone lower. Okay, so this is, well, I mean, if it goes lower, it's just a buying opportunity, in my opinion. I'm in this one for the long term. My shares are around 425. Gap EPS beat, their sales beat. It just seems like it's just their guide. Well, I don't necessarily think I agree with this down move, but this is just how the market prices in that news. They don't like ETFs, I think.
Yeah, so Lockheed F-35 software update linked to progress payments on TR-3 jets could slip from second quarter to the third quarter. That came from the CEO, so that's likely what's moving that one here on Lockheed. See if I get you anything else out of this. Lockheed says first delivery of upgraded F-35s. That was what I just read you. Mm-hmm. Lockheed delivered 18 older F-35 fighters in Q4. So that's got to be what the stuff is on LMT. I wonder... might we get a bounce back here?
Probably. It did really extend down pretty far into
sure
territory
did
on that move. But we could be getting a bear flag on this, and it could go lower. Let me look at a longer time frame, and I could give you some levels.
Tape is choppy. Stay in scalp mode.
Maybe it goes under 440, but not too much.
The reason I asked that, this is a 7-point bounce already from those lows. And so I'm just wondering for, trading purposes here, if there's something here we can actually capture. No position here for me. Man.
I'm going to see what happens with this tomorrow. I think if we get a close above,
there's a dollar spread on this name. There's a dollar spread on this right now.
Well, it's prices.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
I think if we close above 446, we'll probably see some rebounding. But I'm going to wait and see what happens tomorrow. This is a pretty big move. I don't see too many candles like that on this chart. The last one we had that.
All right, here. So I got a little bit from that conference call on Lockheed. We'll close the book. Oh, you guys are calling ENSC. I don't want to talk over another move here. ENSC. ENSC, by the way, down to the VWAP here. Decent entry here. But as far as Lockheed goes, okay, so we talked about the F-35 TR-3 software. The aircraft delivery range for 2024 is uncertain, with a range between 75 and 110, depending on the TR-3 software suppliers, keeping pace with demand. There's an implication of dependency of the U.S. defense budget, which is still under negotiation. Any changes or reductions in the proposed $886 billion budget could impact Lockheed Martin's projects and financial outlook. That's definitely a negative as well. The statement about taking time and attention to get the F-35 TR-3 technology insertion right implies ongoing technical challenges that need to be addressed, which could lead to further delays or increased costs. And then the last one here, the company's heavily invested in R&D and capital, $3 billion in 2023, while essentially for future growth represents a significant expenditure that may put pressure on short-term financial performance. So it looks like there's definitely some negatives coming out of that conference call. There's, of course, some positives as well. Lockheed here looks like this kind of fell out. I don't have a percentage reading here. Looks like it's down 0.2%. Maybe that is right. No, that can't be. Can't be. Down almost 3% here on Lockheed.
Well, I mean, if it gets down beneath my cost basis, which will be a while, in my opinion, I'll just buy more. I like the stock.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it's obviously everything that's going on here is orderly, right? There's no it's not like falling out of bed.
No, it's just not a good conference call.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, I'm going to see how what this does over the next day or so and make some decisions, but I'm not too concerned about Lockheed. They're going to do fine over a long period of time. Zim is kind of pulling back in from reaching 14.
SBAT didn't get going. I was hoping that was going to get going during this bonus hour. Really just kind of hold it in there. Didn't get going at all, unfortunately.
Doesn't mean it can't later.
Yeah, Jay, this is an interesting point here. This is stock pickers market, right? You take a look at RTX versus Lockheed Martin, right? Very similar companies. RTX outperforming here today. LMT, Lockheed Martin, underperforming here today. Same deal if you look at DHI, which we talked about earlier, and I guess Procter and Gamble. Are they really related? DR Horton,
No.
Procter and Gamble? No, I was going to say.
Yeah, but Procter and Gamble, they're the ones that like make toothpaste and household items.
Yeah.
Yeah. So DHI, I think what he's saying is, it's just maybe it's rotation. I don't know. What you stop picking? Like, can you elaborate what you're?
Yeah, elaborate on that, Jay, because at a first glance, I thought I knew the point that you were making, but now these aren't even related. Procter and Gamble and DHI.
Because one, RTX is having a great day, and then Lockheed's not.
How's LRCX doing? We talked a little bit about some of those chips earlier. Land research, it's not really doing much here today.
Seems like we're just kind of waiting for the next move here. Because is anybody else seeing some things that are about to move?
Sydney's GCT at the highs here. She's swinging that.
GCT. Oh, it looks like it's about to try to make a new high today. Breaking out over 2270 in just a tick. Looks like it's got some size at 2290. Capture 20 cents, maybe. All of these ones that we talk, AAOI.
Yeah, we looked at that one earlier.
It's trying to make another go at VWAP here.
Oh, okay. So the point that you were making here is that 2024 looks like a stock picker's market. Yeah, I would imagine that that's the case. I don't think it's going to be one of these things where everything goes up. We'll see what happens with AI and the AI theme. Let's just see. But I'm with you there. It definitely looks like a stock picker's market.
SBET losing steam. Well, it's.
Yeah. Okay. But so you're correct. But here's one of the things that I was trying to make a point on earlier. When you have a better entry, the stock can do nothing or lose steam. I'm still green technically. I mean, at least in the broker here, I'm still green on this stock. It just goes to show you that entry is really, really important. And on my first two trades that didn't work out, the entry was quite poor. Entry here, much better, not really taking it on the chin from the stock not moving very much. We'll see where this ends up finishing, though. I really, really want to thank everyone for sticking around here. I'm glad that we were able to actually extend this. I'm glad that it worked with the schedules. Really, really appreciate all of the support from all of you out there. You guys are the absolute best. You guys and gals are the absolute best. Smash up the like for my man 13 and for us going the extra hour here today. You're welcome, Jay.
Let's start rotating through some of these names. See if we can see anything setting up. Oh, it looks like AAOI is slowly making its way up above VWAP. RVSN, I think, is at a point where if it needs to kind of reverse here.
We talked about INOD yesterday on a real strong day yesterday. More here today. Remember, my price average on this one is 667 on INOD. So we're up nicely on this one. Don't chase.
Yeah, this is already in double digits. I think the opportunity to get in it is kind of long gone. This would be just a trade.
I think so too.
Save made it a trip back to 9 briefly, still under it though.
Crow mentioning that Save has a dividend tomorrow. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, they've. That's probably one of the dividends they pay as a result of this merger that's trying to happen.
I don't have anything on dividend information here for Save. I don't have any dividend information. Cannot confirm that.
Let me see if I can pull up some news for you.
Sightless wisdom. So we've got wisdom and we've got sightless wisdom, and we got them posting back to back here. This is going to be confusing for me, and you guys are no doubt going to trip me up here. But we're gonna work with what we got here. Sorry, I just joined. You should be sorry. Why didn't you join when we started? Just kidding, of course. Enjoy yourself here. Thanks for stopping by. Did you all cover PYXS and why it's running? Yes, we actually took a look at this at the outset here. This has actually been a pretty decent trade. Hasn't really kind of been a runaway. As far as news goes, I have Leerink Partners initiating coverage on Pyxis Oncology with an outperform rating and a price target of 12. So this stock here that closed yesterday right around $2.50 got new coverage this morning from Leerink and a $12 price target. That is what's driving this higher here today.
Sorry, just trying to get
Here we go. Thank you, Brian. Didn't have it in the calendar. Save pays 10 cents a share, ex-dividend date tomorrow.
Yeah.
That confirms what you're saying. Awesome. Awesome.
Oh, RVSN seems like it's getting some volume. DKNG just continuing to move down.
How's Penn doing? Did we ever check on Penn? I know we talked a little bit about that as a potential play here. How's Penn doing here? It's just kind of flat.
Yeah.
It's pretty much where it was yesterday. Yeah.
It's getting some support from the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, but I don't know how long that's going to last. It's not looking great. SLDP, new highs.
Yeah, wow. That is. Here's RVSN. Look at, maybe this is curling and busting out of this flag. Let's see if we go to the highs here, RVSN.
It's moving. Might be making another trip to 5 again. It doesn't have the volume, but Rum might be setting up. We just need to see some more buyers come in, and it could push this thing up to 6 probably. Looking for setups, folks. Yeah, it's a lot of sideways action. What is everybody else seeing besides what we're talking about here?
Logitech moving here on volume.
Do people need more peripherals for their computers?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Now, ENSC is having a bit of a breakdown
this
here.
This is down. You know what? I'm going to try some of this right here. Hang on.
Yeah, that's a good point, Crow, about RVSN. I don't think there's a whole lot of people that are considering the float of this and how quickly this can move. I agree with what you're saying.
What is going on with Logitech here? Let me look this up.
Well, you're going to get me interested in now. What's the ticker?
LOGI. I don't see any news yet. Let me see if I can.
So they reported and then had guidance. I guess this must have been beneath estimates. I know it says that it beats estimates here, but there's a magic number that analysts are looking for with these. Maybe it didn't hit it. Yeah, I don't know why it went down this morning. RVSN pushing. You're getting some comeback with some of these. Rumble, RUM.
I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes here that I think everyone might like. By the way, LOGI really kind of faded there. So it looks like that pop was quite short-lived.
Rum had that pop to 6 that I was talking about.
Yeah, we were waiting for. Okay.
Still above it. Maybe 614 or 615's the next level. Zim is looking interesting. The volume seems to be fading a bit from it, but it's holding up here, above the 1375 area. If it continues to hold, there might be another move in here at some point.
On the RVSN?
No, Zim.
Oh, Zim, excuse me.
No worries. RVSN, it looks like it's trying to push above that, what is this, 473 area, 472. Somewhere around there. It's because it had a pop, about 30 minutes ago and came right back in. Maybe this is the next one that actually holds, not in RBSN. Sorry.
Jonathan asking here, Ryan, what do you think of 2RR? I think what you mean is, what do you think about RR, which is Rich Tech Robotics? Never heard of this one here. A slow grinder, recent IPO. Well, first of all, looking at the IPO, this chart looks great. Obviously, they're doing something right out of the open here. Let me see if I can put this back up here real quick. Here's your chart on RR. I mean, this has already moved from 5 to 10. Like this looks really good. I don't know anything about this company. Let me try and do some of this on the fly here. 433K in cash, revenue of about 4.5 million.
You know what's interesting about this one is that they were. It looks like they were at CES 2024.
Yep.
And I think if you look at January 9th, when they had news about that, they started really taking off.
Yeah. I wonder what they presented there. That would be the next thing to look into that there. It says
human-like performance for robot bartender.
Yep. Advanced AI capabilities elevating human-like performance for robot bartender. Okay, so Jonathan, let me come back. Let me come back to your question here. What do you think about RR? Well, I think that AI robotic bartenders definitely have a place. Not sure what to make of this. Obviously, it's getting the CES bump. I think we just kind of established that here real quick. It's not cheap, right? We're looking at about 5.4 million in revenue versus a market cap of 640 million. It's not a cheap stock. It doesn't really trade all that much. On averages about 170K shares a day. Floats 20 millions. It's fairly low there. I mean, this is an interesting one. I'm not sure I want to see some of the demonstrations of these robotic bartenders. That's what I'd like to see.
I bet that's on YouTube.
I bet it is.
One thing that I want to mention about this.
Was.
One thing I want to mention about this is remember that Star Wars C-3PO doesn't allow in a bar. That's great.
Okay. Now we don't. Oh my God, Crow, that's a really good Star Wars call right there.
Yeah,
C-3PO and R2 were thrown out of the bar, but well done there.
But not in Jabba's on his barge. He was R2D2.
He was a robotic bartender. That's right. Yeah. They were serving drinks. R2D2 was serving drinks on the barge. He's also serving lightsabers, but we won't get into that.
The thing about RR is that it has a very high daily RSI, and because of the float size, this could pull back pretty handily. Just be careful with this one. I don't know that I would be buying up here in particular for a long hold. I think Quantum probably get smacked.
Sorry to interrupt. 13 Quantum says no for RR a YouTube channel. Oh, this I highlighted the wrong one. Sorry. Wisdom and Quantum. No, YouTube won't do. We actually need a live demonstration. We need them to fly that robot bartender into a spot where we are all there, and we need to see it make drinks. I want to know how its Manhattan is. If you can't make a good Manhattan, you don't have a future in bartending, robot or otherwise. Oh, Shelly, look, the cat's here. Let me get the cat for Shelly so she can be all excited. One sec. Buddy, we have to go see Shelly.
I'm gonna close my SBET trade. It's starting to break down, and it's taking too long to materialize. So I'm going to take a small loss there. What is this? 4 or 5 on the day now. Zim.
All right, there you go. I appreciate you. You know what? I'm actually adding this to a watch list here. I really appreciate this mention. I have no position in it, and this is a new issue I've never really seen before. I'm interested in this. AI automation. I'm going to throw that in the robotics. There we go.
Yeah, no free drinks. I wonder how they respond when you ask if you can make it a little bit stronger.
They probably ask you for more money so they can pour more booze in the drink. It's not like a human where I used to work at a country club. Real quick story time here. I used to work at a country club, and the bartender, whose name was Hector, awesome guy, literally like one of the better when I was younger, I had a bunch of these jobs. He was one of the best coworkers. He was hysterical and helpful, nice. The members of the country club absolutely loved him. He made a drink for a dude one time, and it was a simple drink. It was like gin and tonic or gin and soda. And the guy goes, I brought it to him and takes a sip of it. He goes, "Could you do me a favor and take this back to Hector and tell him to make it the strength that I like?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure. Of course I'll do that." Take the drink back. I go, "Hector, customer said that this drink wasn't strong enough." He goes, "Oh, okay." He takes the drink off my tray, gets a new glass, fills it with ice, fills it with gin, like literally to the top, and then splashes a little bit of tonic on it and puts it back on the tray. Gave it to the customer. He's like, "Yeah, this is perfect. Thank you."
Yeah,
oh
that sounds
my
about
God.
Right. I'll have to make a screwdriver for you one time, and it doesn't taste like orange juice.
Yeah. I think I know where that one's going here. All right, let me go back to the trading platform here.
Rum is well, speaking of alcohol, rum is making a move now.
See, we get overtime. We extend the show for an hour here, and now we're talking about booze.
Mm-hmm. We're leading into happy
it.
hour pretty handily here. Look at rum go. It's trying to take those morning highs it made at 628, about 18 cents away. Rail Vision might be going next.
Still moving to the highs. RVSN, let's take a look at that here. This actually might be moving to the highs there.
Mm-hmm. It's had a couple of times where we tried to get above that 473 and it got rejected. If it doesn't get above this one, then I think it might be time to turn away. It might come in. ENSC still going lower, and it looks like it might end up in under 150. What else you guys got for me? Yeah, it's a non-eventful market. Bring out the booze.
Hey, we wouldn't be the first people to do that. Art Cashin from CNBC fame used to say, "The ice cubes don't stand a chance." Love Art Cashin. Cashing in with Art Cashin, as we used to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we're going to see, and I could be wrong, but I'm not sure we're going to see DWAC recover.
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about that being potentially sell the news.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I like Lynn and Randy's idea. Oh, RSVN. I like their idea of seeing what happens during happy hour, because it might have a move then.
Yeah, I liked that too. I like that they came up with the plan on the spot and then executed the plan. That's, I think, my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah, RVSN had
that's going to the highs here. I have that high print at 504, by the way. We're closing the distance on that one.
Just trying to get above 495. There's a big size in there.
Just press the button marked Scotch. Let me tell you something. I don't need any dispenser that has a button connected to booze. That is devastating.
I had some Dalmore last night. That was awesome.
Ooh, on a weeknight.
Yeah, I usually have a Scotch when I do a little bit of gaming.
There you go.
All right, looking for Zim to start to recover here. This is looks like a good spot for it too. Nothing's guaranteed, of course. The volume isn't great, but this looks like a good bounce area. Like how Rumble got up to 610 that it got up to? 615. TKO piggybacking Netflix.
BFRG moving here. Let me bring this up here. Here's BFRG. We've talked about this one the last few days. BFRG looks like this came up off the VWAP here, 617 earlier today, moving higher here.
Guess it's time to break out some of the old names. RBSN still trying. NVVE slightly above VWAP. This might be something to pay attention to if we in the next 5-10 minutes, or maybe it goes now.
I can't. We have multiple awesome comments here. I can relate. Was doing some late night COD, laying in the weeds, sniping while sipping.
Okay, so I do play some shooters as well, and whenever we do stuff like that, we call it prone gaming.
Yeah. Yep. Heard that term before too. Look, over the weekend, I actually had to do a task where I had to use a sniper rifle in Tarkov, and so I was doing the same thing. Had my little ghillie hat on with snow on the top. It was awesome.
Oh man, some of those are just so much fun.
Is 2 PGA Tours in 2024 don't drink had a problem. The third one isn't old enough to drink. I don't understand what you're saying here. Sorry, Jay. I don't quite understand what you're asking there.
An old name for you, Mad Donna.
Gosh, I don't know, dude. Saying I was a bourbon guy or an Irish whiskey, been sober about 11 months now. I had no stop button. Congratulations, Nick. Awesome job being able to turn that around. There are plenty of people that have the exact same thing, and the only way that you can really make things work is by identifying that. So congrats to you, and congrats on your 11-month streak. That is awesome. Keep up the good work, man. You're channeling your energy into something like trading. That is how you build wealth. Going to be better for your health as well. Love to hear success stories like that. Keep it up, Nick.
Yeah, I'd like to know how you're going to celebrate 1 year. You're going to have a good steak dinner. What are you going to do? Tell us what the celebratory 1 year is for sobriety. I'd like to know.
Dang.
And congratulations on your sobriety.
Yeah, that is. I'm just rolling through the scanner here real quick.
Lots of sideways
back to the
stuff,
trading platform. Yeah, a lot of this stuff kind of slowed down here. But that's okay because we're out here chilling together. Thanks everyone for showing your enthusiasm for this. Thank you, 13, for sticking around. Thank you, of course, viewers, for sticking around. I'll see what I can do about pushing this and doing this more often if you folks like it. And the other thing that I will say is that there is going to be a time, I know it's hard to believe right now, but there is going to be a time where the days don't really kind of slow down like this. I got to think that this is going to change. I do think 2024 is going to be volatile. So I think there's going to be opportunity and on certain days here to really capitalize on some of this movement. So just saying.
What do you think?
A nice cigar after surf and turf is how our boy is going to celebrate. Let's go, dude. That does sound like a celebration. Been to a cigar bar with 13, by the way. Dude knows his stuff.
Quantum, if you're taking off, you have a good day.
You're welcome, Quantum. Take care of yourself. We will see you tomorrow. Don't forget.
SBET October. What's the question with SBET October?
Oh, I see. So Chris Kirk was off the tour for a year for having too much booze. Same with Grayson Murray. But Nick Dunlap, which is the amateur sophomore that just won, can you believe they're trying to not pay him? He better go get a good year and get that money. I can't believe that they gave all of the winnings to the second place person because he's an amateur. That's absurd. There's people getting NIL money now. That's ridiculous. Sorry, 13. Go ahead.
That's okay. I was just saying, I got you now, Wizard. It's SBET over. And yeah, I agree. I'm glad I got it when I did because this would have been even worse. So took a small loss on that one. That would have been an even bigger loss.
Yeah, I didn't have my stop set on that one. Shame on me.
I didn't have a stop either. I just decided I don't like the way it looks and got out. Just took the small loss. Zim's still kind of holding this pattern here. I like the way this this setup looks like.
Ooh, save knife. Good call here, Crow. Save is knifing.
Oh, yeah, it is. What's the news here? Look at this thing go. It's like, save me.
I mean, this might just kind of be trading action. Right? Let me see if there's news here. Let me check in Pro real quick.
Yeah, don't see any news off of that.
The Spirit Charitable Fund publishes its impact report. I don't think that's it. Yeah.
No, it looks like there was a number that bulls are trying to keep it above, and it just looks like
it just looks like trading. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. Rum back to that 615 spot. You really can't break out of that spot, interestingly enough, on rum.
I'll go to my scanners. I want to see if there's anything coming up.
Yo, this is ridiculous. First of all, Jay saying that happened to me. I won a CT Open. Is that a Connecticut Open? And got a $500 shop credit. Gosh, that doesn't even buy you a driver nowadays. Second place winner got a check for 10 grand. Oh man, I would be low. Yo, I'd be salty with that. And man, if you're out here winning tournaments, Jay, you're real good. I couldn't hang with you if I had hooks on my wrists.
I don't want to, say that this is the case, but it sounds like playing a little crappier is the way to go. If you're going to win 10K, playing a little crappier is the way to go.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it's because of his age, right? It has to do with the amateur or your age or something. I don't know what it is.
I don't understand how all those prizes are.
Yeah, me either.
Dished out. Okay, so Rail Vision. It looks like it got up to about where it was about half an hour ago. The high of 504. Yep, got right up to it and rejected again. So 504 is definitely a level with RVSN. I wonder how much it moves if we break it.
Walter saying afternoon. Walter, are you in Nova Scotia? Are you in the way east? It is 11:48 here, Eastern time. Rumble, that's breaking above now.
Here we go.
Here we go on Rumble. This is like what we've been waiting for a while, I feel like. Let's see. We're almost taking off that first stick of the day.
Yeah, 625 has got a big number of sell orders there. So it's going to eat through that if we're going to go higher. And then we'll break 628. We're going to have to see a lot more bids come in this.
Buddy, what are you doing? He went straight for the bird.
NXTP seems to be recovering. Still slow moving though. Still think it's worth watching AAOI. It's holding above VWAP, but it's the volume in these things, man. It's just
they dry out. They dry out. But we're going all the way to the lunch break here. So we're going all the way to the lunch break here today.
Still waiting for Zim too. This, I know I said this is it looks like a good area. It's still holding this area. It's kind of waiting to see if it does. There's a good amount of support about it, 1366, but it can always get eaten up.
Jay saying I'd be surprised if TXN beats tonight. Okay, that's interesting. Where's DWAC at? DWAC's still holding there. We'll see. Maybe not done yet. RVSN, you guys are saying SBET's over. Yeah, that probably is. You guys are probably right. There we go on rum. So here we go. That's still high. We're right at the spot right here. Do they take the size right here at 630? I see a little bit more at 635 on rum.
Oh, yeah. There it goes.
Yeah.
Rise. Now, it's quite possible this comes back in a bit under 6 if it doesn't break out here. OTLK still trying to move up. What are you seeing? Oh, look at this. RVSN had a nice spike there.
See, I don't feel good about buying these. Look at how each time we set this new high, it comes back in. Like I gotta wait for this to set up and buy around some type of support area instead of these high day breaks. There will be a time where we just trade these, just buy the break. But that time is not right now.
Bracket orders.
That is a good way to take care of it. ENSC still not able to get above there. All right, folks, we do have 8 more minutes here. Again, I just want to thank everyone for sticking around. This was a lot of fun. My day's already looking up here. Extra hour with 13 here in the morning. You got to love.
Yeah, Rail Vision coming back in. Seems like everybody's getting off for lunch now.
Rico's like, I'm going to push the envelope again. Stick around again. Rico, I can't. Join Luke. You should stick around and join Luke for Powerball, which is the next segment starting here in just about 8 minutes. So we got stuff going for you. And don't forget, there is a cannabis show later on today. Cannabis Insider, I believe, on later today.
Angela, I think the AI bartender will just keep refilling the drink.
Yeah, I'm not sure what type of conversation and life lessons you're going to get from a robot bartender, but look, I'm not going to be the one to judge.
You might get a window into that if you watch The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element. That movie's actually really good.
Yeah, remember when the priest is talking to the bartender? And he just says, "You want some more?"
Yeah.
That's really great. Sorry about the language.
No, you're fine. It's Bernard C. and Happy Hour. All good. Robert, take care. We will see you again tomorrow. Buddy, are you going to jump up here? Is that what you're doing?
Take care, Robert.
Did you want to say bye to Shelly here real quick? No? You're such a cute cat, though. Why don't you say, look, right up here, you could just say goodbye to Shelly. Why don't you
maybe? Oh, hi there. Maybe
yeah, he just wants to. He's marking the microphone. He's like, you talking to this every day. It's mine now. It's mine now. Okay. So Buddy didn't say goodbye to Shelly, unfortunately.
Looks like AAOI finally made something of a move. Got up to 18. Not a big one. Might not be done either. Just really,
Apple
the volume
looks
is
like
not going
that's
to move us.
Yeah, Apple looks like that's recovering. How are some of these other tech names that we took a look at earlier? Netflix still down. I don't know. Nvidia, that recovered and just kind of held where it was at. Apple, same deal. What are we seeing? Amazon not really doing much of anything. I don't really see anything else to go after out there.
DWAC had a recovery.
FRSX owns part of RVSN. This is a penny stock though. I don't know about that.
DWAC had a recovery candle, and now we're back above 46.75. Trying to get to 47 again. This is interesting too, because I have a 65 EMA on the 5-minute, and we've been unable to consistently make closes above it. It just keeps getting rejected around that area. I'm looking for the one that breaks out and pushes above it. Still think we 50's going to happen at some point.
Just kind of looking around here. Pardon me.
No worries.
Days still showing some action there. I'm not a huge fan of those. Any stocks? Let's see how UAL is doing. UAL, that was a good short by Lynn and Randy earlier. About AAL, looks like the exact same chart.
Who brought up AAOI again?
Smoke Tuna brought up AAOI earlier here. That is actually pushing away from the VWAP here.
Yep. Really slow moving, but it is still making gains. Looks like a bunch of these names that we were trading earlier are kind of moving back up to retest resistance now that was previously support. So just be aware. And iPoint went up to 25 and it just never came back. Bets is very, very low volume, but it's looking like it's trying to get back up to what, 4? Trying to make a path up to 4. I don't know. Very, very slow. A very, very low volume. Maybe not.
Look at Coinbase high a day. So this was actually one of Trade the Pool's watches earlier. Let me take a look here real quick. Trade the Pool. Yep, Coin had resistance at 130 and support at 118. Well, I'll tell you what, that support at 118, we actually didn't get down there. We actually held the 120 support. 130 as the resistance here. Let's see. That's right here. That would have been yesterday's intraday high? Yeah, right about there. So we'll see here on Coinbase.
Look at the Bitcoin. Earlier in the morning, we ran up to that, to almost 39,500. Now we're trying to make another go at that high that we made and break through it. I have the 200 EMA on the 5-minute right in that area too, where it's been rejected. So it's coming right up to that. If it can get through, then I would say that definitely 39,500 is on the table. I don't know about 40. That could be possible, but I don't know for sure. See how we're coming up to there, and we could get a rejection of the 200 EMA, but I don't know. The second visit up here, I have a little bit more hope. Rail Vision, new highs.
RVSN keep moving higher.
I don't have anything that I'm of course I'm still holding some Zim, but there's not anything that I picked up today that I'm holding anymore. I sold out of everything. Just waiting for some setups here. And, with the volume as low as it is, there's not a whole lot materializing right now.
That's okay. We are actually going to have to end the stream here in just about a minute. Let me check the time here. Yeah, we've got about a minute left. So 13, any closing words here today? Closing thoughts?
No, you know what?
Looking for?
Just I'm glad that everybody was able to hang out and just have a good time with us. I hope everybody's picking something up from this, and we continue to provide the entertainment and education you guys are looking for. As far as where I'm looking for the market to go today, I still think that we need to come back in a bit in some of these stocks. We've kind of had a pretty crazy last several trading sessions, so just anticipate some downside happening soon.
Okay, awesome. And thank you very much for joining us here today, 13. Thanks for sticking around. Like I said, I'm going to try and pull some strings here. You folks had a really, really great idea. I really appreciate it. Be sure to stick around for Power Hour. Luke is going to be joining us next. Redirect is already set. You don't have to do anything. We are on a 21-hour break. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.